Hey yo, what's going on guys? Welcome to the stream. It's Friday. Thank God. How is everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. It is Friday, isn't it? Is it Friday or is it Thursday today? What day is it today? Yeah, it's Friday today. Oh, is it the 13th as well? Whoa. Okay. Alright. Maybe we should have not gone live. I don't know. How's everybody doing though? It's good to see ya. I was confused and I was like, it's Friday. Wait a minute. No. Is it? Is it? I don't know. Jamie, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. So today, guys, we're going to play a little bit of PGR, a little bit of Wuthering Waves. We're going to get to it later on. We're going to play some Deadlock. And I do want to get on some Terra Fantasy as well over the weekend. I said I was going to play some this week. It didn't happen. I said I was going to play some Zenless Zone Zero. It didn't happen. So we're going to make that happen for both of those games. I did watch the new 1.2 update live stream for Zenless Zone Zero. Looks like there's some cool things coming to the game, actually. We're going to be getting racing, which is kind of cool. And then it went into, like, a freaking rave segment that just went on for so long that I was, like, kind of bored with it. And we only got one code, which kind of, hey, you know, that's... I guess that's Hoyo, right? I guess that's Hoyo. But we're going to play some PGR, like I said. Oh, yeah. New video linked in the chat, pinned top of the comment section on YouTube and on Twitch, guys. Check it out. It's appreciated. You guys have been killing it with the videos recently, going ham. Views are up pretty much across the board on most videos, actually, so thank you for that continued support. I've got another video that's in the drafts right now, ready to go live. It was going to be the first video today, but then obviously the Lumi drip market came out on Twitter, so I made a video talking about that, which is actually the first video in quite some time, actually, that I've not done from a live stream where I've just reacted, or I've just, even the videos that haven't been reaction videos, they've just been, I've just done it while we've been live, and then took it down and took it off the stream and edited and put it together. But that was actually the first video where I just sat down and recorded a video, so yeah, go easy on me. But we put that up earlier as well. And then, yeah, the Blue Protocol is back video is going to go up a little bit later today. Probably get up about 6 or something like that. Just ready to go, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to play some PGR, and then we're going to play some Wuthering Waves, and then tonight we're going to play some Deadlock, because I didn't play any yesterday or the day before, actually, I don't think, and I've got to get me fix, man. I've got to get me Deadlock fix. I think there's been some new updates as well. They're continually rolling out updates, actually, and I think they're going to implement an anti-cheat very soon as well, so that's good to see. Some new UI updates, I think, some new map updates with your teammates where they are on the team, like they've got like a little PNG emblem there, which is kind of cool. Yeah, continual updates coming out for that game, and I'm happy about that because the game's fire. Yo, what's going on, Bullet Time, mate? You doing, buddy? You're gonna learn while you're doing some studies? No worries, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. Good to see ya, guys. As well, if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like on the stream. It's appreciated very much. And again, quick last little plug. Well, for now, there is a video, new video up on the channel. Check it out. Let me just check something here. So yeah, man, 2 banger banners coming for WuWa. We've got Camellia and Yuho, Yahoo, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. I'm not too sure how you say it exactly. I'm just going to call it Yuhu. So we've got Shorekeeper, Yuhu, and then we've got Camellia and Lumi, the new 4-star resonator that's coming to the game. That's all we know about her. We don't know other than her name and a little bit about her, that she works for the Lolo Logistics, and she looks kind of like a mouse hamster kind of thing. She's got a tail with a light bulb in it, which is kind of interesting, and like light bulbs in her hair, which is kind of cool. I actually like her design, actually. I do, and I'm hoping we get more of those sort of characters in the game where it feels like it's a departure from the typical, you know, we just get these characters that are thrown out there now and again. They're just like light-hearted and feel a little bit different. Like, I'm all for that. I don't want every character to be the same. I want some that are like the comic relief, if you will, you know, the light-hearted character, the bright, the funky one, the one that's not taking itself too seriously. Demon Neo, I don't know why I called you Demon then. Welcome to the stream, bro. How's it going, buddy? It's good to see ya. What's going on, Chase? Hello. Apologies about being a little bit late today. As I said, I'd got a video going up. It's already uploaded. It's just in the drafts at the minute. I'll get it up later. about Blue Protocol and Blue Protocol coming back, kind of in a different guise, and it's being published by Tencent, and it's going to be a mobile and PC game now, and it is Blue Protocol, but it's not the same Blue Protocol that we were getting. And yeah, that video is going to be going up a little bit later now, because obviously as I was making that, or as that was getting uploaded, I hopped on Twitter and I saw that they'd shown off Lumi, so I was like, right, first time in a long time, let's actually just record a video quickly. So it was a bit like of a spitball video, which you can probably tell, but I just wanted to get it up and get it out there. And yeah, it was the first video I've done in a while, actually, that even like the videos that I haven't been reacting have been on live stream. So yeah, check it out. It's linked, pinned comment. Cheeky toots. That video was mint, Brody. I liked it a lot. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Not gonna lie, it was a bit rushed, but you know, it's one of them ones where it's like he's kind of time sensitive, isn't he? So thought I'd get it up straight away. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I am not too bad. Hopefully everybody's good. I'm glad it's Friday. I am glad it's Friday. And yeah, we got the new update for 1.2. The 1.2 update for Zenless looks kind of cool, actually. The live stream was a bit of a letdown, no? We got one code and then like about 40 minutes of some, basically a rave concert, which, you know, for the first song or two, I was like, oh, this is kind of banging, and then he just dragged on, and I was like, yo, I'm here for updates and codes, man. Get this fucking dude off my screen. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But yeah, we're going to be getting that. We're going to be getting on Zenless, actually. So over the weekend, obviously the football's on tomorrow, so I'm going to be watching that. But I do want to try and get on Tower of Fantasy and Zenless over the weekend. And if we don't manage to do much over the weekend, next week, we're going to be doing some Tower of Fantasy. We're going to be doing some Zenless on Zero as well. We're going to obviously be mixing it up. We'll be doing PGR. We'll be doing Wuthering Waves. We'll be doing a little bit more of a revolving door next week. So it won't be specifically just one game or two games. We'll try and get through a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think ZZZ was cooking in the next. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks good. I mean, I'm liking the look of like the racing and stuff like that, and the new area, like the idea that they're bringing in. It's almost like the American like what Midwest, is it, or something? We like obviously I know we got the biker gang aesthetic and style coming in, but like I like it. Yeah, it's looking cool. It's looking cool. I need to get back on ZZZ. I really do. Why is that video not auto-played? That's weird. Auto-play turned off. I should have just gone straight on to the next song. I don't know why that did that. Yeah, update looks cool. You should do more of those. Fuck the Asmon goal format. It's easy though, man, and I'm creatively devoid. I can just be live. I can make the video. I can download it and I can upload it. And that way then, when I finish streaming, I don't have to fuck around. You know what I mean? Not gonna lie, that's why we do it like that, because it's easy, and I'm a lazy person, so you know, anything that lets me do as little work as possible, I'll take that route. I was saving for Ellen's weapon, but I need a second team so bad I might pull for Caesar and the other chick. Yeah, I got lucky. I hopped on yesterday, and I think I had about 7 pulls worth, and on pull 6 or pull 5, I got Jane Doe, which I was really happy about, because you know me, I saw the yams, I saw the cake, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that, so I'm happy about getting that. I really just need to build my team, because I'm like, I haven't gone through all the story in that game, like, I haven't even hit, proxy level 35, so like, all my characters at the minute are still limited to level 30, so like, I need to get back into the swing of things, and get like the combat down again, and you know, it won't take too long, because the game's quite easy to get into, but yeah, we need a good day where we put some time and effort into ZZZ, bang out some of the story, get back to doing some of the what is it, the shield defense stuff, and yeah, man. So I guess I got to see what a real Hoyo Glazer looks like. Not that impressive, if I'm honest. Yeah, some people are weird in games, dude. The brain rots. Yeah, all the communities have got it. Every game's got it, really. I'm telling you, it seems like this banner, though, Kurawa Cooking. Because I put up a community post earlier. Basically saying we're going broke with this one, boys. Click to enlarge, and it's just showing you off Camellia, Lumi, Shorekeeper, and Yoo-Hoo, the entire banner, well, the entire 2 banners. And you know, already people are like, man, I've got to get them all. I've got to pull out my wallet so I can secure both. I think this is the right thing to do. You know, banger banners and a good 4-star, a new 4-star along with it. I know they're not going to be able to have a new 4-star every banner, but I think it was the perfect thing to do after the month they've had and the potential month they're going to have with Zhang Liao and all that sort of stuff. It was the right thing to do to go into Shorekeeper and Yoo-Hoo and then into Camellia and Lumi to, you know, get people interested and really pulling. Yeah, I ain't done any whatsy. I'm gonna smash through the story, get it finished off because I was enjoying it. Like I was caning through everything pretty quick, but I can't remember what distracted me off Dailies. I think I just ended up going back on WuWa, which I tend to do a lot. I get hyper focused and then I think I've got ADHD. I get hyper focused and then I get distracted. I'm like a magpie or a cat, and I'm just like, whoa, let's go do that now, you know. That's fair. There's a lot of people in that boat Neo with Zenly Zone Zero. You know, I think there's a lot of people even in like the Hoyo space who really wanted to like Zenly Zone Zero, just couldn't get down with it. See, it happens, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it's just a rerun of the other one before. It's just the exploration event. It's just basically just doing stuff as you go along. It's good for asteroids, really. But yeah, this is what I was saying before, in that I'm happy for those events to come to the game and keep coming to the game, because at the end of the day, reward events are great because it's just a good way to, as a free-to-play player or a low spender, to get more currency to pull, isn't it? But, you know, I'm one of those players as well where I want events for them to be good. It's like, okay, give me some rewards, but I want the event itself more than anything as a reason to sink my teeth into playing the game. Which I think at the minute that's definitely what we was lacking, quite big sense. I'm confident though that it's going to change. Well, I hope it will anyway. I hope it will. We'll have to see. I've said before, I think with a gacha game, you really have to give it a good 6 months, don't you, to really look and be like, okay, where are we at, you know, in terms of content, revenue, the future, all that sort of stuff. I think the first couple of months, it's a little bit hard to see what's going on, really. I think once you're about 6 to 8 months, you can see the trend, whether it's going up the right way, it's going down, you know what I mean? Speaking of WuWa, I need to do my dailies before I log into work. Log into WuWa first like a real gamer, right? Hey, priorities, man. Priorities. Priorities. Apologies for being late, but I had to spend my wave blades, right? Like, what? Don't worry about it. Serious stuff, though. Just get your boss addicted to it, man, and they'll get him. Alright, then let's have a look here, because I have got a couple of videos I wanted to check out. I've got a couple. Where are we? Hey, this is totally separate, right? Totally separate. And, got nothing to do with anything that we really talk about on this channel. But I just thought it was kind of funny. It made me chuckle, so I thought I'd show you guys as well. You know, it tickled me, so I thought you guys get to see it as well. Just come up in my shorts feed earlier, so you guys get blessed with it as well. All right, I didn't know about this this DLC that there was for Predator. I wasn't a big fan of this game anyway at all, but I just thought this was hilarious. Let's check it out.
The most poorly aged DLC in gaming? Oh no.
This could be the most controversial DLC in all of gaming. Back in 2021, Predator Hunting Grounds released a Dr.
Predator Hunting Grounds, and guess who's the Predator? Fucking quality.
Cinema. DLC, where you play as Dr. Disrespect, except he is the Predator. And in light of recent events, this might be the most...
Dude, you just can't make that shit up, can you, man? You know, like, sometimes the real world writes better freaking scripts than Hollywood. It's just quality, that is. Oh, it made me cry, that did earlier. I actually, like, laughed out loud at that. This is a good one. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Funny, man. Funny. Yeah, I know it's got nothing to do with anything, but made me chuckle. So yeah, I don't think I was a little bit disappointed with the Zenly Zone Zero live streams. We only got 1 code, didn't we? I was a bit disappointed with that. I thought we might get 2 or 3, but we got 1. I can't remember now. Did we get 300 polychrome for it though? Which I suppose not too bad, I guess. I know, for real, yeah. Yeah, but apparently going cloaked is not one of your skills. So I saw somebody put up, I think it was a Deadlock Intel Twitter page. It was like, oh, Doc's playing Deadlock. Oh, what was the tweet now? Let me watch it because I'm just gonna butcher it. What is he? Oh, what is he? Where's he gone? It was somewhere along the lines of Doc's playing Deadlock. Something like, you know, it makes sense considering the game's still developing. Something like that. Obviously, I've done it no justice, but it tickled me as well. Yeah, I was gonna say it was 300, wasn't it? So yeah, it's not too bad actually. Like, I suppose it made up for it only being 1, but yeah, it was good video. Good video, good stream actually. I wish there'd have been a little bit less rave set and a little bit more, but it did what it needed to do. I know, yeah, his first game, everybody left, yeah. That's weird. I mean, I've always disliked his character because I legit knew people exactly like that. I used to actually watch him, not regularly. Like, I'm not like a fan or anything, but I did used to watch him. Yeah, it's just it's a messed up thing, isn't it? Messed up situation. Never really spoke about it on my channel really, because I said this before, like, some people like to talk about drama and stuff, which I don't mind talking about drama within gaming, you know, when it's just, it's not a big deal, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, the worst comes out of it is, you're annoyed about something in a video game which really doesn't affect your life. When it starts to get to real world stuff that's serious like that, it's not my place to talk about it really, because there's so many people putting their input in and I'm not going to give a better input, and I really don't know what the crack is. I just know it was very, very sus. You know, people keep using the old, well, the law didn't do nothing. It's like, well, yeah, that's not exactly the best defense really, is it? You know what I mean? But anyway, should we watch this video from Kaza? I don't know exactly what he's talking about here, but I'm interested. I mean, how is he going to be talking about the banners? Probably the banners, yeah. I'm assuming he's going to be talking about the banners then, looking at this video. Yeah, but let's see what he's got to say anyway. All right, let's check out this video from Kazahana. Wuthering Waves announcement gets even bigger with this. Looking at this, it looks like he's probably talking about the banners, potentially the new 4-star resonator that just got announced, Lumi. And yeah, let's see what he's got to say.
So Wuthering Waves may have just dropped one of their biggest updates yet. As you know, we're getting very, very close to the update with the Black Shores, and many people are excited for it. Literally just a couple of minutes ago, Wuthering Waves released this new post-lament Anthropocene, which pretty much teases the release of Camellia. Now, Camellia...
How many takes do you reckon he had to take to get that right? I think I got it right in my video earlier as well. Not gonna lie, stressed out. I couldn't say juxtapose. I can't even say it now. I'm going to shut up, man.
It's a character that has been very, very wanted by a lot of Wuthering Waves players.
Juxtapose. There we go. I got it. Juxtapose.
Honestly, she has such an...
Well, I struggle with some words sometimes. I think it's because I'm a smooth brain. I think that's what it is.
Amazing character design. As you can see here, she's got the cool, like, kind of like flame design around her, as well as having the whole, like, Camellia's design flower on her hair. And again, it looks...
Also, thanks for getting me into Deadlock. If you ever want to get some games, let me know. Yeah, man. Yeah. Game's fun, isn't it? I really like it. Yeah, juxtaposition. Or juxtapose, depending on, like, you know, the context of the sentence, but it evaded me hard. Brain was just like, you know, like an engine trying to start on a cold morning.
Looks very, very cool. I am really excited to see a character.
I wasn't re-recording though.
What kind of effect that she has on the actual story, not just the playable character kind of side of it, but just to see what she does in the story as well. And I think this is definitely going to bring Wuthering Waves up in terms of revenue. So in this video, we're going to...
I hope she becomes like kind of like a Rascallion in the whole thing. And I know that necessarily just because a player becomes a playable character, they don't become part of the crew. I kind of hope she does, though, you know? And she's not just dipping in and out from a story point of view. I'd really like her to become part of the crew, you know, the main cast that we've got kind of now. I think she'd fit in well because she offers a nice contrast there to the rest of the crew that are all kind of clean cut, aren't they? Because I really like her.
We're going to be discussing Camellia and the Black Shores, and just talking about how this update is probably going to be one of the biggest updates that Wuthering Waves have had in a little while, and whether it's going to help out their revenue, and what it means for future updates for Wuthering Waves as well.
I think, I'm gonna say, I think it's safe to say that I think the next two banners are gonna be better. Now, I will be really interested, although, like I say, again, I'm not too fussed about actual revenue, as long as they make enough to continue giving me something I enjoy. But I am going to be interested just to see from a, you know, I guess from a marketing point of view, and if these characters are liked as much by other people as they are, but potentially by me. Because I think just the fact that we're getting Shorekeeper and Yoo-Hoo, and then Camellia and Lumi, and they're going to be on the same banner, and you're not just getting a new 5-star that are quite anticipated, you're also getting a 4-star as well. So there's a real reason to pull on the banner, because you're going to be getting plenty of copies of the 4-star, hopefully, if you get lucky, you know, so that's a good thing. And then you're getting, like, Shorekeeper, really good kit, cool-looking character, Camellia, insane-looking character, and hopefully a good kit as well. And then, obviously, we'll have to see what Lumi's saying in regards to her kit and all that sort of stuff. I think it should be a much better month for them, hopefully.
But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy
and the reruns
and
as well, yeah, definitely.
My code Kazza, you get yourself
I think that'll make a difference as well.
And tubs. I definitely recommend you guys go check that out. And let's get back into the video. So as I said, they actually released this teaser, and they said, Archive, Bloombearer from the Black Shores, Camellia is a laid-back character free from shackles with a personal aroma of danger. Intrigued by the belief in fate, she wanders the land on her own accord, following such a chain of scenarios and its vague guidance. So again, she seems like a bit of a mysterious.
I'd like to see if there's some sort of interaction between her and Verena as well. I think that'd be kind of cool, because, like, you know, with them both being kind of like with the botanical sort of link between them, you know, I think that'd be kind of cool. And that's one thing I'd actually like to see in the game, actually. You know, kind of like how you do getting things like Overwatch and Deadlock, when two characters are on the field together, or you're switching between them. If they actually had little lines that they'd say to each other, just like build up the characters in the world. I think that'd be kind of cool to add to the game.
Mysterious character. I think she's going to be like kind of like a protagonist kind of character. Obviously, her character design tells you that she's probably going to be a little bit evil, but I think that she's
antagonist?
Actually going to be, you know, kind of helpful. We're not sure though. I don't know what's going to be happening in the story. But again, it's really exciting to see a lot of these characters coming out from the Black Shores.
I think it makes sense that she becomes kind of an anti-hero, really, doesn't it? I think that's what Scar will inevitably be as well.
We got some new mechanics that came out, as well as Yoo-Hoo as well, who looks very, very cool. And we also got the announcement of the Shorekeeper, which was actually like a month ago. And again, she's another one of the 5-stars, so it seems like we're going to be seeing Camellia and the Shorekeeper as our 2 5-stars on the next update, which again is an absolutely stacked banner, and I don't know how anyone's going to be able to...
I'm not going to lie, I was surprised, because some people were talking about, I think we are going to get a new 4-star announced, aren't we? Some people was talking about potentially being Deng Deng, but I was like, I don't know, maybe we won't, because at the minute, we're not, it's, you know, you can't really be sure exactly what crew are going to do. They're not exactly great in terms of that at the moment. Hopefully, over the next few months, we'll kind of get into a cycle and know exactly what's coming. But I'm really happy. I'm actually quite surprised that we did get a 4-star announced like we did. So it's good.
To like afford that is such an amazing, you know, set of characters to have on one banner. So it'd be really interesting to see how they interact in the game, and to see how many people actually get it.
Camellia, I don't think she's evil. I think she just is around. Yeah, I think she's, to me, the way I see it is almost in like let's Marvelize it. She's kind of like a Deadpool, you know? That's what I feel like she fits that role of, she does her own thing. She's looking after number one. She's intrigued. She's not necessarily a bad guy, but she's not necessarily out to be the hero at the same time. She's like, I guess, the perfect anti-hero in a way, isn't she?
As I've been saying with a lot of the revenue kind of update videos, they haven't been doing too good on revenue.
Dude, this cutscene was so fire.
Down and down. But it seems like the Shorekeeper,
it was this that sold Camellia to me.
Kind of like statement of saying, hey, we're going to bring this back up, and we're actually trying with our characters. Because there was a lot of people saying that they're probably going to be skipping the Shorekeeper just because of Camellia coming out. And I could totally see why. Camellia has a better character design. But again, I could see why you want to pull for both of them. Again, they're both amazing characters. And it definitely seems like this is going to be a high...
I think it'll be smart if they don't show off her kit just yet, especially if she's got a really good kit, because we know she's got a good kit. But we know Camellia's got an insane design, and she's like a cool character we've already been introduced to. So I think keeping the kit secret for a while will benefit them because people will be like, well, I need to pull on Shorekeeper because of the kit, and obviously YuWa as well. So that's a reason to pull on that banner a lot now. And then obviously there's going to be a real reason to pull on the Camellia banner anyway, because like it's Camellia. And then obviously if a kit drops and we see it's insane, then yeah, I think both banners will hopefully bang in that reason then.
Selling patch.
Well,
I don't know how the actual timings will align with this. I don't know if both the characters are going to come out in the same month, or if they're going to be, you know, separate in the months. But again, it'll be really interesting to see in the revenue chart how
probably
much
separate, won't it? Because we'll probably see Shorekeeper, then a rerun, and then into Camellia, and then a rerun, won't it? So it probably will separate into 2 months.
Because Camellia, again, I said at the start of this video, she is a very, very wanted character. She is probably the most wanted female character in the game at the moment. People really want her. Like, yeah, I don't know how to express that enough. Camellia and Scar are the 2 characters that I think a lot of people really want in the game at the moment, which people haven't gotten. But now we've finally gotten the Camellia release. Bro, they're going to be making...
Like, if they just drop, like, Frovlova or Scar after this ban, it's like, bro, yes... I'm gonna have to sell the shirt off my back, you know.
Ton of money from that.
It's not gonna happen.
We've also got the 4-star Yoo-Hoo, which again, a lot of people don't really care about. I mean, she's alright. I'm not that interested in her and her character design, but again, I know some people are. So again, it's kind of cool to see that they are releasing a lot of this stuff very early on. And if you saw my last video about me talking about leaks and stuff, it seems like they are trying to bring out a lot more advertising for these characters earlier, so that the leaks don't, you know, ruin a lot of their scheduling and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool to see that Camellia actually hasn't been ruined yet. I don't know if they didn't release her on the beta test, because Wuthering Waves have been doing some beta testing, pretty much allowing users to go and play the game and try her out in the game. But that was only for the Shorekeeper, and we actually got a ton of leaks coming from that, which again isn't great. Obviously, Wuthering Waves was saying, guys, can you stop, please? And it seems like Camellia wasn't actually included in that. So I don't know if now Camellia has been announced, they're going to start rolling her out into the beta, which means we could see more leaked footage coming from these people. We don't know.
Don't do it until Shorekeeper's banner goes live, at least for the second day. So the second day of the banner, then maybe introduced, because usually, typically, with banners, the first 24 to 48 hours are the biggest earner in the banner, aren't they? So at least let the first couple of days go before they show a kit. I think that would be the smartest thing to do. From our point of view, I know there'll be a lot of people, don't do that, because then I know if I've got a skipper. But I think from a business point of view, that'd be smart for them to do.
But again, it seems like she's going to have a very cool character design, especially whenever it comes to combat. Obviously, we know that Kuro Games really cook with a lot of the combat kind of design.
They do.
We had Changli with the really cool Phoenix stuff, and also Jinshi with the cool dragon stuff. Again, I think Camellia is going to be very cool. It's probably going to be...
They're like 2 of my mains now, even though it's not like the best way to roll. My kind of team that I'm kind of rolling through a lot of the stuff. Not so much like Terror of Adversity stuff. But that's like kind of my team that I'm just rolling through normal content now. It is Jinshi, Changli, Verena. You know, it's the dream team.
Fire related, I can kind of assume that she's going to be, you know, a fire type character, which again is going to be very cool. And the same with the Shorekeeper too. I'm also very excited for the Shorekeeper. I think her character design looks very elegant and nice. I think it's very cool that they added this kind of like butterfly effect too. I really like the overall character design of a lot of the characters in this game. And if you've seen some of my previous videos about the Black Shores, you're probably getting tired of hearing me saying that the Black Shores is probably going to be one of the biggest areas come to Wuthering Waves. And I'm predicting that it's going to be like the gateway to a lot of the new regions coming out. Because as a
potential, I'm interested to see what he thinks. Does it mean biggest in terms of scope or actual size? I don't think it is. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's just another subsection of the first area of the map, and 2.0 is going to be the new big region. And I think it'd be smart to do that, where we have a big main region, subsection, big main region. It allows them to like break it down a little bit more, but still get new regions out in between the big story beats.
As I said in the past, there's been a lot of speculation about the Black Shores actually being the final update before version 2.0. So you could actually be getting version 2.0 after these 2 banners, which again would be very exciting. And from the description of the Black Shores, saying the Black Shores is an archipelago enshrouded in
it's true, we could get them. I feel like what we'll probably do, we'll probably get a couple of like banners that are not necessarily attached to a patch. We might get 1 or 2 banners before 2.0, you know, just to slow things down a little bit. You know, we'll get 1.3, 1.4, you know, and then no actual game patch until 2.0, but we might just get a couple of banners in between. I don't know.
Mysteries and turmoil, remains sealed away from the world in thick digital fog, it is still uncertain when or who will lift its veil, allowing it to once more shoulder
like
the
the
task
idea
of
of that
connecting
digital
the world.
fog.
The key
I
word
wonder if that's going to have some sort of
connecting the
visual
world. I think that this area
representation.
is going to have some kind of like transportation method of getting to these new regions that we're going to see, because we did see in an interview with the producer Dong saying that they do plan on making new regions with different cultures and stuff like that.
Good.
Obviously, we've seen it in Genshin Impact, Honkai Star does it in planets rather than regions.
Makes sense. So if you're going to have a live service game like this, you've got to have new areas to go to, whether it's a new nation, a new planet, as well, potentially the fact that we get the planet named, it's the third planet from the sun and stuff like that. Do you reckon we'll ever go off planet potentially? You know, to like within the solar system maybe for like some other content. And, you know, I feel like that's still kind of hanging as a possibility maybe. That'd be really cool as well, because you could really like switch things up from a visual point then, couldn't you? Like if it, even if it was just like a small story section in regards to like it really looking alien.
But again, it'll be very interesting to see how Wuthering Waves do it. Are we going to go to a different planet, or are we going to see just a new region like we do in Genshin? I think a new region would actually make a little bit more sense. I think there's still so much to explore around the entire world. Jinzhou isn't just the only place.
We've got so many characters that are a reference from being far away places. Well, even like Lumi, you know, this idea where it says about, you know, for the forests and the wilderness, is that like some sort of a tiny little tidbit, a little hint, a little Easter egg of potentially a new area being a very wild, untamed wilderness area with forests and stuff? That would be kind of cool.
In the Wuthering Waves, you know, kind of sphere. So again, it'd be very interesting to see what they kind of do with that, and to see, you know, how much they've been cooking, because it seems like, you know, the dev team are very, very hard working. And yeah, we haven't seen any kind of like leaks or kind of footage of any of these like kind of like rumored new places that we're going to see in version 2.0.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're doing a good job at keeping that under wraps, you know, making sure it doesn't get spoiled, because again, I think that'll be very, very disappointing if a lot of that area does get spoiled. Now, obviously, you know, with games like Genshin Impact, they actually have Natlan coming out, which again, I don't think I actually saw any leaks for
When did you record this video?
that at all, really, apart from maybe the characters. But again, no one really leaked the overall like landscape and places around the map. So again, I hope that stays the same for Wuthering Waves as well. And I think that Wuthering Waves have also actually done a very smart move here with Camellia too, because Honkai Star and Genshin Impact have been, you know, announcing a lot of new characters. Zenless Zone Zero is now kind of like reaching the end of their like...
I was going to say, you could have only recorded it yesterday because of the news about Camellia, but the way he said with Natlan coming out, obviously he was probably just misspoke, but yeah, caught me off guard.
Jane Doe kind of hype.
She's
Jane
fire.
Doe came out, was it a
She's
couple of
fire.
days ago?
I really like her animations as well.
Honestly, you know, people were very excited. But now the hype is kind of dying down, and they've got that period between, you know, whenever a banner came out and whenever the next banner is going to come out. There's going to be a little bit more quiet, which now Wuthering Waves could actually take advantage of. I think that's what they've done here, because if you've seen in the past, there's been a lot of these like kind of like teasers and stuff like that, where they actually released it literally 15 minutes after another character. Whereas with the Wuthering Waves one, people were asking whenever the Shorekeeper came out, where's the other 5-star that we're getting in the game? Because again, usually they release 2.
I think they did it the right way this time. The 5-star, the 4-star, give it a little bit of room to breathe, let everybody think about the character, decide what they're going to be doing, and then boom, the next 5-star and the next 4-star. I think that was the best way to do it, to be fair.
And we didn't actually see another 5-star until, you know, a month later, and now we've got Camellia, which I think was actually tactically done by Wuthering Waves or Kuro Games, or whoever you want to say it was, to actually release this whenever the hype for Jane Doe had actually died down a little bit. Obviously, people are still very excited for
and
the
they're
character,
learning,
still, like, leveling
a Kuro evolving. Are we going to start seeing the marketing department step up and really start to cook?
Her up and stuff. But again, the overall like release day, build up and stuff is all gone now. And I think that announcing Camellia right now is the best time to do it. Genshin Impact also announced their new character Kinich today, and they pretty much announced what his banner was going to be and stuff like that. Which again, I don't think really affects Wuthering Waves at all, because that's not really the game they're competing with. I think Zenless Zone Zero is the main game that they're competing with, and I think that they've actually done a really good job at bringing out Camellia at the right time whenever stuff is a little bit more quiet. So again, some really like smart moves from Wuthering Waves here. I'm really excited to see Camellia coming out.
I genuinely don't see it like that. I think at the moment, I feel like Wuthering Waves are competing with themselves. You know? I feel like that's the battle that they have to win. It's not necessarily trying to compete with MiHoYo and HoYoverse and their games, because I feel that's always a battle that's an uphill battle that's going to take a while to even get to even be in the same sort of zone. I feel like their battle is against themselves in terms of marketing, getting it out at the right time, hyping things up in the right way, making sure banners now I think for the foreseeable future, because we've had Zhangli out, we've had a bunch of free stuff in the game. I think it's time to get serious now with banners, which I know from a lot of people will be like, well, that means I'm going to get less. But I'm talking in terms of the company. I think it's time to, like, you know, to start firing on all cylinders, to get a line of banners that are just fire. You know, we've got these two what look like really good banners upcoming, and then potentially a massive update in 2.0. We're getting a new area as well prior to that. So I feel like if 2.0 slaps, the PlayStation launch goes off without a bang, should I say, and goes off without any hitches and any hiccups, and we get a new area and a really good couple of banners after that. That's the battle they need to win. Not really competing with the other games. They need to win that battle with themselves and making sure they've got a good amount of content lined up and good banners to go with that content now. And I think they'll have a good couple of months, if I'm honest.
I really think that they did cook with their character design. I think Black Shores is going to be amazing. And yeah, overall, just a really, really good update. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. So if you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also let me know down in the comments who you're going to be pulling for. Are you going to be pulling for
all of them?
Or are you going to be pulling for the Shorekeeper? I think, you know, it's a very heavily debated topic in this kind of, you know, sphere. But again, it's very interesting. So
we're going broke with this one, boys. We're going broke with this one.
Use my code CAZO, and you get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. They've got a ton of really cool events going on there at the moment. So I definitely recommend going to go check that out. And yeah, that's about all I got for this video.
Good video. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for the next couple of months for the game. Actually, I think we're going to get a good. The only thing that they need to make sure they do as well, give us some good events. Give us some good. Add something to the end game. I want to see another version of the end game, and give me something that's kind of replayable. You know, I want some good events, and I think if they can cook with the events, and they can cook with the next couple of banners, and then we see, like, obviously the Black Shores drop, and then 2.0 is a banger, and we get some good banners there, and when we go into a new nation, good time to be playing the game, in my opinion, and potentially as well a good time for people to really get into the game. I think if they cook with the new area and the banners, I think you're going to see a lot of people who might potentially come over, because one thing as well, what you got to look at is there's going to be a lot of Genshin players when Genshin comes to its end, because what is the one nation left in Genshin now? So we're looking at like 2025 will be like kind of the closing, if you will, of Genshin, if it ever does, you know. But in terms of like the overall story and nations and that, will we see that come to an end in that regard? And then it's just, you know, end game stuff added all the time, potentially, or it's just like they just let it kind of simmer away. That's a potential then for them to really grab onto a bunch of those people who might find themselves as refugees, unless Hoyo come up with like a spiritual successor to Genshin potentially before that happens, which I would imagine they probably are. It would make sense for them to get something, so when those Genshin players have got nothing left anymore, they can go and hook on to the new Hoyo game. But I feel like that's a really good chance for Wuthering Waves, really, to maybe get some of those Hoyo refugees, if you will. But yeah, great video. Show them some love. Good video. I'm excited. The banners are usually fair content for them to explore and to be in. Yeah, agree. I know idea how to buy asteroids and I don't know the best way to get them. Well, one good thing is when you first purchase from the store and you're buying your Lunite packs, is that you get double, you know, so you get double the amount of Lunites. So, you know, if you like, I think, whatever, say you're getting 980 Lunites, you're getting double that, which is nice. I think one of the best things to do, which is a really good a really good thing for me, is the Lunite pass. The 30-day Lunite pass, $4.99. You get 90 Lunites every single day. You get you get 90 asteroids every single day. You get 300 Lunites up front, and I think altogether it works out to about, I think it's 2,700 asteroids over the month with 300 up front. So I think you work out to about 3,000 asteroids through the entire month for a $5, which is probably the best deal you're going to get. But I agree, yeah. Banners are they're just, at the end of the day, they're just banners, aren't they? Without content to be able to add, to be able to use them for. Got itchy back. You got itchy back. Left my back stretcher upstairs as well. I think I've got fleas recently, man. I don't know what it is. I'm just constantly having an itchy back. What's going on? I mean, somebody's talking about me behind my back. Woke up this morning and I was just like, back's itchy. I need a tree. I need a tree stump like a bear just to be able to just like rub myself up and down. And that's what I need, man. Um, Facts versus fiction, Wuthering Waves. Co-op rework I really want. Catch-up system. Oh, a catch-up system. Would you guys think that'd be a good idea to have a catch-up system? Kuro's generosity, is it really good? Let's check this video out from Foxhole.
How's it going, you?
Let me booze that. Let me booze that. I'm sure your back isn't the only thing you rub up and down. I fucking need to nowadays. Nobody else does it for me. Can't let Rosie know I told you that. Alright, let's check this video out then, shall we? Let's have a look at this one from Foxhole. We've reacted to a couple of his videos before. Not always agreed with what he's got to say. Let's see what he's got to say in this. I have no idea what he's talking about here. Facts versus fiction, Wuthering Waves. We look at this Giga Chad on screen. This dude deserves more respect. And again, what is it with NA streamers and content creators and Wuthering Waves? Why do you guys always have super high ping? Is this just a thing in NA, or is this people constantly hopping on CN servers? I'm not too sure what it is, but I see so many NA streamers and content creators with high ping. I just don't know how they do it, man. I really don't. Let's get into the video then. Facts versus fiction.
How's it going, you glorious Rapscallion Resonators? You absolute legends for taking the time to watch this video. The name's Foxhole. Welcome back to the channel.
Right.
Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And as you can see on the screen, we're going to play some Couch Arrow because, let's be honest here, we haven't given the boy some love.
He deserves it.
Kind of screwed over here and there.
Yep,
I want to give him some love.
Yeah,
so,
good lad.
What's today's video topic all about? I'll be honest with you. Today's video topic is more of a rant than it's going to be actually any kind of conversation.
I'm here for a bit of yapping. I'm here for a bit of yapping. See what he's got to say. See, look,
by all means, take a seat at a bar.
This can't be that he's on another server, right? Because his ping's just gone from like 114 down to 62. I wonder sometimes when I'm getting that initial lag when I hop into the game, that I am getting a high ping, but it's just not registering on screen. Because it never shows that I'm getting above a 50 ping. It's usually around about 40. But like every time I play the game, for the first 20 seconds, I get that severe lag. I'm wondering sometimes, is that what's happening? But it's just not showing me. I don't know.
Relax. And drinks are on tap. They're open. It's open house. And yeah, let's get into the conversation.
Dude, I think Calcharo's so cool. I think he's just such a cool looking character.
Yeah.
Reckon it's an Unreal Engine problem? You reckon?
So,
I got over lots of Unreal games. I suppose it's just about how they've
basically what I like to call
developed on the engine, I suppose, at the same time.
Fiction. And what content creators in general I am seeing is doing, okay? And again, another reason why I don't watch other Wuthering Wave content creators, okay? There's very few out there that I actually am going to side with and be like, this guy, you know, hey, they got their information right. Because a majority of them, you know, don't actually seem to care about the game, it feels like. They like to throw things out there, whether
I don't know if that's necessarily fair. I feel like that's a bit of a generalized statement that I feel like there's plenty of people in the... Of course, at the end of the day, there's a lot of content creators that are out there because that's what they do. They enjoy content creation, and that's totally fair. I don't think a content creator has to marry a game at the end of the day in that regard. They're just playing games. They've found a niche. They enjoy this game for a little bit. It gets them views, and that's totally fair. That is totally fine. I used to be one of those people that thought, this person doesn't really care anyway. They're just doing it for the views, as if that's some real bad thing. But it's like, if you're doing YouTube, it's not a problem really, is it? I think there's plenty of people in the space that do seem to care about this game, for sure. I think sometimes it's okay to play other games and still care about Wuthering Waves, and it's okay to criticize the game as well when it deserves it. But let's see his reasoning though, because I'm sure there's plenty of people who couldn't give a damn about the game. Or is that really a problem?
and I've already kind of discussed this with an older video already, with, don't fall for the hype, because you have some channels out there that likes to go ahead and say, oh, this new character is going to be coming out for 1.3. Oh, the character's going to be delayed now 1.4 and such. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? They've been saying that Camellia was going to be coming out for 1.3. Look what we got. We got Shorekeeper and such. These are people that like to present different information and consider.
I think these are people that work with leaks and potential information that's upcoming. You can't always guarantee what's going to happen. At the end of the day, let's not pretend that Kuro haven't moved the timeline around with certain stuff in the game, because we know they have. You know what I mean? But there's been reworks in terms of the story, and that's made characters that were once going to be a character and now not a character, and they have the design for the character. But Camellia is a perfect example. That used to be the design of Chun. That's going to be a character that's coming into the game. Do we know when? I don't think that necessarily means that you don't that you don't know what you're talking about. It's for views at the end of the day. I think talking about leaks isn't a problem. Leakers, different situation, because I don't get why people do that, especially when they're doing it on Twitter, because it's like, other than clout and attention, it's kind of weird because it's not benefiting you in any way. But I think people who are talking about potential roadmaps of the game, I think you have to go with the information you've got at hand, don't you? And that can change. That can always change. Whatever game you're talking about, whether it's a gacha game or whether it's just a game in general about an upcoming patch or update or addition to the game. I haven't got a problem with people posting information that might be correct at that time and changes. I think it's fine, really.
Consider this fiction as fact. And it gets...
Again, sorry to keep pausing. I don't think, now I haven't watched everybody, but for the people I watch that tend to make this sort of content, we've reacted to quite a few of them. I think most of them don't put it out there as this is the definitive thing that's going down. I think they just say, hey, look, this is the information we've got at hand. And sometimes they add their own assumptions to it, but they're usually quite open about when they're adding their own assumption to what's going on. There's not many people that are watching the space that like, this is the crack, this is what's happening, I know the info kind of thing. You know what I mean? Most people are quite open of where they're working with the content in regard to, are they getting it from Kuro? Are they getting it from the website? Is it coming from Twitter? Is it coming from leaks? It's
tiresome, because I actually get into conversations with people and then they bring up this fiction like it's like complete fucking fact. Like, oh boy, Fox, so this like legitimately is what they're talking about. This is real. And it's like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck you talking? Who the fuck? What? Whoever fucking made this video is fucking retarded. That is the first and foremost wording that I will use in that regards. Because let me put it like this to you. It started off with a live stream and it ended in a Discord conversation where someone keeps trying to bring up that, the reason why, and especially after I put up the video recently about, Kuro's generosity.
Okay.
We got into a conversation because someone brought up that Kuro Games, because the revenue of Kuro Games' Wuthering Waves is so far down that the game is going to die before the end of the year. And I'm just like,
I'll tell you what's fiction. You keep calling it Wuthering Waves. It's Wuthering Waves. It doesn't really bother me. I just like to, it does actually, it really bothers me.
I'm listening to this person say this and I'm like, they're saying that other content creators are producing this. And I'm like, okay. I had to clear that fact on the live stream. I had to express, my opinion behind gotcharevenue.com and, people trying to use this information as the end all, solution of determining whether a game's going to end a service or not, and explain to him that that's not what the fuck it means.
I think there's some fairness in that. I think people do put too much into the revenue chart, specifically one. We only know from one platform where that revenue's coming from, and I'm pretty sure it is just Apple, isn't it? I don't even think it covers Android, but whatever. Anyway, let's be generous and say it's mobile, right? It's not covering for like things like Hoyo console as well and PC. For Wuthering Waves, it's not covering PC. So there is that factor of, well, we're getting some kind of idea what's happening, but we're not getting the full picture. And I think sometimes people do like to use it to beat other games around the head of like, look how well my game's doing, which is weird. It's really weird. But I don't think it's something that should be dismissed totally. I think it's definitely relevant to be like, okay, let's not put too many, let's not put all our eggs in this basket. But, we can always have a conversation about it as mature people sometimes. That's a problem. People always have to take it too far. I think everything's up for conversation and we can always, like, I'm one of those people, I think it's fair to compare games to other games. It's just how you go about doing it, isn't it? People always have to take it too far sometimes and like really go in on a like psychopath kind of a route, which is really odd when people glaze corporations. That parasocial relationship is just weird. I think it's fair to use these different sites to kind of look at information that's coming out.
To go into it to where I get another person that showcases me.
Imagine being so hell-bent on revenue when you don't even own the company's one. Yes, I really believe that. It's a thing that fascinates me. It's as if like, oh, okay, so the board made a crap ton more money. What did they buy ya? Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay. They bought a new freaking sports car. They got a new penthouse. Oh man. Well, I'm really happy for you.
Video that's telling me the same fucking bullshit, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, okay, this guy does not know what he's talking about. Let me explain something to you. When it comes down to gacha revenue, okay, gacha revenue first and foremost is only showing you the funding from the mobile device. It's not showing you the pricing from
This is true.
PC,
This
and
is
I
true.
know a lot.
So, like, does it show you the entirety of mobile then? Because I've had people say to me, it's just Apple devices and not Android. But I was under the assumption that it was both mobile devices because I could get that sort of revenue from both stores. I could be wrong on that. I know it's just from mobile, though, if it is from both devices, which, again, he's right in that. He's right.
Fucking PC players who's playing Wuthering Waves on PC.
I agree.
Okay? There's a lot.
I definitely think in regards to a majority of the games that do have a PC client, I think Wuthering Waves is skewed heavily on PC in comparison to a lot of the games. I think the potential for it to be like 80-20 in a lot of these games is probably, quite true. Of course, I'm just pulling this out my arse, but we just go off like how the player bases kind of are. Wuthering Waves is just a game that happens to be on mobile. I genuinely don't see it as a mobile game. And I know there's people who play it on mobile because we're seeing like 10, 13, 20, 30 odd million, 45 for the first month or whatever it was. So there are definitely people spending and playing on mobile. I just think because the game, the way it plays, it's hard for mobile. It hasn't run the best on mobile. I know it's getting better, but it really is a PC console game, isn't it? I think a big factor when it comes to PlayStation 5 is going to be huge for Wuthering Waves. So I really would be interested to see the revenue on PC because I wouldn't be surprised if the revenue on PC like potentially doubles the overall revenue, if not more. Say it takes 13 million a month on mobile. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like 15, potentially 16 million on PC. And then when you bring console into that fact as well, throw another 10 million on, you know what I mean? I think it does a massive disservice for Wuthering Waves specifically.
On mobile, but there's also a lot playing on PC. And these are, this is not being consideration for, in truth, the entire fucking situation with, collecting revenue information. So we have that. But the biggest problem that I see, right, when it comes to people using GachaRevenue.com is that these people are using it in the wrong context. They're using it in the wrong situation and not explaining, what does this mean for a game? It's automatically, game loses money, game's going to end of service. No. You don't understand the situation of what Wuthering Waves is dealing with right now that caused the droppage of their finances, okay? First and foremost, okay, in the month of August, what happened in the month of August that made Wuthering Waves drop down to its current, I think it was like 8 million or something? Well, let me tell you what it was.
I think it's a bit more than that. I think what is global 8 million and China's like 5 million, I think, if I'm right. Let's have a look, actually. Let's have a look. Where are we? Where are we at the minute? Wuthering Waves global is 8 million and China's 5 million, 5.5 million. So yeah, still talking 13.5 million. Just on mobile.
5.0. Gidget Update 5.0
Which is still
came out.
A hell of a lot of money.
That is one of the main reasons why the games finances dropped. Second reason why the game's finances dropped off is because 1.2 was a meh update. As much as, you know, I'm going to have some people out there that's going to be like, well, you know, Foxhole, you're wrong, okay? 1.2 was the greatest update in the goddamn world, blah, 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 blah. No, look. Stop. At that point in time, Kuro Games don't need you to suck their dick anymore than what it are.
I don't think it was a meta update. It was just a filler update, and I like GG. I felt my 50-50. It sucks. It is what it is, but I'm guaranteed Shorekeeper now, which I'm really happy about. I think a lot of people weren't necessarily interested in GG, to be fair. Yeah, and now you've got another banner that came out without any new 4 stars, which is a big switch in what's happening now. The fact that we've got 2 upcoming banners, both by the looks of it are getting 4 stars, new 4 stars as well, which is going to be a big factor. I would be very, very surprised if the revenue in those banners, from those banners, doesn't potentially double the previous banners. But, you know, we'll see.
Already is. Okay, you can back off with saying that 1.2 was one of the greatest updates so far in this game. We all have the understanding, we all agree that it was a needed update. Don't get us wrong. It was just, you know, a meh update. It was a slow update, but it gives Kuro Games a chance to, you know, work on other things. So we have 1.2 that was a meh update that gave us 2 characters that were not really hyped on, okay?
It was largely a quality of life update as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. They're decent. They're good, okay? But I don't really, you know, want to spend money for them. That's what it was, okay? That's what 1.2 update was. It wasn't anything that really portrayed that I want to spend money. And if you take a look at a game like ZZZ was in the same position. ZZ released, it made like 68.
Hey, yo, I'll give him credit though. 1.2 looks kind of fire for Zenly Zone Zero. I've got to catch up on ZZZ so we can get into 1.2 because that's coming in a couple of weeks, isn't he?
$1 million. Then it dropped down to $15 million. Okay, it had a fucking hard fucking drop.
Yeah, but when you're doing 100 million on mobile, you're gonna have a big drop on you. It's
Robot
insane.
Girl and shit, you know, nobody really cared for that. You know what people cared about for ZZZ? Jane Doe, fucking mouse assassin. Everybody's got their dicks in their hands and they're hard on and they're like, I want mouse bitch.
Yeah, bro, man, for real. I got her after 7 pulls. I was happy as fuck because those yams are insane. The cake, the bakery, it's all there. I'm ready for it.
You'll see.
And she's kind of cool as well to use.
ZZZ is going to get a big fucking increasement in their fucking revenue just because that character was super fucking overhyped and everybody wants to fucking fuck a rat. Okay? Truth be fucked.
You can definitely tell this dude, he's like, I don't want to say he's a Kuro shill, but you can definitely tell he likes Wuthering Waves, which is totally fine. Again, like I said, he was talking about content creators not really caring about Wuthering Waves. I think it's fine to accept that people are going to like other characters in other games as well. I get it, you know, it's funny to call her a rat, but I think it's a sick design of a character. And there's a lot of characters in Zenly Zone Zero. They're pretty freaking cool as well. And there's some that are not so great, you know, not all of them kind of hit in Zenly's, but the art style's really cool as well. Like, there's some cool characters in Zenly Zone Zero.
Fucking told. You know, Wuthering Waves, we're going to get to that point to where right now, I think for what happened with the update, with going against Genshin 5.0, going against ZZZ as a new gacha game, which technically is a competitor, whether you want to believe
it was like a perfect storm to have a bad month, wasn't it, really, with the decisions that Kuroda took in regarding to the Zheji banner, Zhangli Yao, Filler Patch, you know, Natlan just dropped, Zenly Zone Zero's recently came out, you know, they've got some, obviously, content that they're dropping as well, and banners. You know, it was kind of a perfect storm for them to probably come off worse in that whole situation. And I think the people at Kuro probably understood that. I think that's why they knew that was probably going to happen. I think that's why we've got these 2 banners that are coming with 1.3 and 1.4. New update, new area, 2 5-star banners with 4-star characters, 1 highly anticipated character, 1 character that's got a kind of insane kit. You know, I think that they understood that that was going to be the case, wasn't it? So they're lined up ready to fire shots back, I guess, in the next banners.
Direct competitor on the genre, but it's still a competitor because it's a gacha game. these games, plus the poor update, plus Genshin's update, all of this, for Wuthering Waves to make $8 million in the month of August is actually pretty fucking good.
It is. I think that's what some people do sometimes. You get jaded by things like Genshin and things like Star Rail, you know, and even like things like Love and Deep Space and AFK Journey at the moment. Not every game's going to make that. So that's insane numbers. They're the sort of numbers, if you have 2 months like that, for a lot of games, potentially some of these smaller games as well that haven't got the budget that in terms of development that maybe something like Wuthering Waves had or Genshin had, you've made your money back on development and you're in profit within 2 months, you know? So you can afford then to have a 90% drop off and still be killing it. You know, like $8 million to $15 million a month in revenue is insane. Like, it's really good. I think it's like the thief of all joys in comparison. And I think when you're looking at these massive, you know, it's like comparing COD to all of the shooters on the market that try and come into the military thing. Now, to be fair, a lot of them do fail. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to compare this behemoth to the other things and say, well, they're not successful at all because they're not at this level. It's like, you know, you've got lots of musicians who are super freaking successful, but not everybody's going to be Beyonce. Not everybody's going to be Elton John, but there's still people out there making a shit ton of money. They just never get to that sort of height, do they?
Believe it or not, it's not dying. I'm serious, like, you're not putting into context, and this is what I don't like about content creators that...
I do think that 1.2 is a great filler patch, but I don't know how great of an idea it was. I think the reason it came so soon is because content got brought forward, didn't it? Because of ZZZ. So I think it had to be injected to, like, you know, kind of create that little buffer for them, didn't it, really?
You just like to take fiction and turn it into fact, is they're not taking into account a lot of different things and explaining to people, hey, look, this is what's going on. Yes, you know, Wuthering Waves had a drop in finances, you know, with what happened this month, but this is the reason why, and it's going to come back up. I promise you, when there is going to be someone like Scar, when there's going to be...
I think sometimes, though, content creators don't necessarily have to explain that context like that. You know, they can, if they want to, they can say, like, you know, there's probably some external factors that have led to this month. But I think then to say it's going to come back up, I can't say that. You know, then they're back into the realm that he said he didn't like people talking about in regards to leaks and characters coming in the next banner. Well, I know this is coming in 1.3 when they don't know that. Saying, I know the revenue is going to come back up. I'm sure it is. I do believe it will. But to say, you know, for a fact it's going to, we're back in that territory then. Is that fact or is that fiction? At the moment, it's fiction because you don't quite know yet, do you? Well, I do agree. I do think it will go back up. But I think to say that content creators need to say that. But what if next month it doesn't go back up? Are they lawyers, you know?
Someone like Camellia, you know, that is really going to be pushing the limits of this game and it's going to be hype as fuck, guess what's going to happen? People are going to spend money. You put Scar in this game, I guarantee you, even some, it's not just going to be me, but you're going to have a bunch of people just like me that just guess what they're going to do? They're going to spend money. I
do really want to get Scar.
You know, summon 6 a character.
Camellia, Scar, Favlova, 3 most hype characters for me.
Copies of the character and the weapons as they possibly can. That entire
I agree, Neros. I agree.
This 1.2, I know a bunch of people who did not care for Zayshay. They didn't care for Yao. They're not spending the money in this. They're actually looking at spending the money on Jane fucking Doe right now because Jane Doe is more fucking hype in such. But you give us another character like Yenlin. You're going to give us another character like Chang Li. You're going to give us a whole unique, you know, character in general that is going to be a cool-ass character. Guarantee you the revenue is going to drastically come up. The hype has to be built for it, and the hype is not there right now in certain points of Wuthering Waves. And even if it didn't, you know, take a look at PGR. I think like PGR made like 300K or some shit in the last couple of months, and it's still going strong. It's just that I see Kuro Games taking Wuthering Waves, right? And they're taking their time. They just sent out a feedback request to a bunch of different players, you know, to say, hey, how do you like this changes. Kuro Games is doing what it can right now to formulate a game plan for the future. and it's not going to die.
We hope.
And that's why, like I said,
I don't think it is going
just
to.
Gets to me,
you know,
and
if Kuro can keep PGR going as long as they have with the revenue that's pulled in over the years, I know this game's more expensive to keep the content coming. I don't think the game will end the service. I think if we did see a drastic drop in revenue, we'd potentially see content becoming a lot more sparse and barren. But again, I hope that doesn't happen. I'm one of those people. I don't need to be seeing Kuro making billions upon billions every year because that doesn't affect me. I want to see them making enough money, this game becomes a priority, and that they go, right, it's worth every month for us to keep banging out content and good content because it's making us a lot of money. That's all I care about. Too many people get wrapped up in it. It's like, look at Genshin sometimes, insane revenue, and then it takes them 4 years to half implement quality of life updates. It's like, how's all that cash going for you in that regard?
I'm going to end this video here before I rant even more. But if y'all guys want more rant videos, y'all let me know in the comment section below. But I'm just putting it down like this, is that, you know, I don't particularly care to listen to fucking bullshit. And that is what some of this content generally is. They're going to fucking take fiction, turn it into fact, like I said, and they're going to try to make something seem, you know, either it's 10 times fucking more amazing than what it actually is, or they're going to try to make it seem like it's 10 times fucking worse.
That is true. There's a lot of Doom posters, and there is a lot of hype men as well. That's a fact.
What it actually is. It can never be a medium with certain content creators and certain people in general. So all I'm going to say is that if you're a person that is watching Wuthering Waves content, you're going on Reddit, you're going on YouTube, whatever, be careful of who you believe and who you trust. Okay? I'm a person that, you know, if I'm going to believe in something, I'm going to try to do my best to do as much research as possible. And that's what I implore anybody to do, even against my videos. Do your own research. You know, before you believe anybody, go research it. Go see if you can find that information. See what, you know, everyone else is talking about before you 100% believe this person over here is God and fucking think that, oh, God over here is telling me that Wuthering Waves is going to fucking die tomorrow because it didn't make enough money last month. Oh my God. I don't know how best to put that. And I just hope that, you know, a lot of people, you take into account what I'm saying, you do your research, and in general, things will just be 100,000 times better, believe it or not. So, tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below. I mean, do you agree?
I think the best way to do it is you don't need to do your research. I think just play the game you enjoy. Don't spend money you don't necessarily have on a video game. And if you are going to spend money, don't go crazy with it, right? And then if a game, worst case scenario, end of services, you can go, okay, that sucks. I enjoyed that game, but you don't look back in anger, you know? I heard him say, like, oh man, I've spent all this money and now the game's dead. That, you know, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if a game ends of services anyway. If you're not sensible with your money, there's going to be a time, years after you've stopped playing a game, you're going to look back and go, I wish I hadn't spent all that money in that video game, you know? So if you only spend what you can afford and only spend what you're comfortable with spending, it doesn't matter what happens to the video game then. And then you really don't have to spend time researching and saying, well, is he going to die? Is it worth doing this? Because at the end of the day, you know, you've done what you're comfortable with doing, and whatever happens, happens.
Agree with me? Have you not met these content creators in a sense, or Reddit posters or whatever, that is trying to take something that you know for a fact is fiction and trying to go ahead and make everybody eat this shit up and think that it is fact? And if you have,
oh yeah, for sure,
by all means, let's expose them. Tell me who it is. Tell me what's going on. And you know what? Maybe we can update this video and we'll start doing reaction videos on people's damn content or whatever. And we'll start reading this shit.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I want to see him get. I want to see him rage about some content.
Link is in the description below. I got a video.
There's one thing I will say about Foxhole. Like, dude, I like his vibe, but I definitely think he's got an emotional attachment to Wuthering Waves, which is not a problem. But I think he could make some good content if he does actually react to some people who might potentially be Doom posters of WuWa. I just think it could be kind of cinema.
You know, video requests section up there. post a video up in there and say, hey, look, react to this video. And you know what? I might just do it. All right?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Should we find somebody doom post him and link it to him?
Keep safe. Keep
just so we can react to it like.
And above all else,
throw a match.
Keep it real.
Right, let's sit back and watch it burn.
Side,
no, we won't do that.
Good day.
Yeah, good video. I understand what he's coming, the point he's coming from. I definitely think he's a lot more emotionally attached than me. I don't think the people who like leakers are different. People who leak the content, who actively leak the content. I think content creators talking about leaks. I think once a leak's out there in the open, I think it's fair game for content creators, as long as they're not sharing the leaked footage, the leaked gameplay, to talk about the potential things that are coming to the game. Because if it's out there, sometimes it's interesting to talk about potential things coming in the future, roadmaps, updates, whatever the game might be. I like to talk about that stuff sometimes. I'm not really somebody who dives too much into leak stuff, because it's not really my bag, especially when it comes down to story stuff, because that sucks when people leak story, because it's like, oh, come on, bro, I want to enjoy this first, and I actively stay away from that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think there's a lot of posters out there who just post the information as it comes into them, and I think that's fine. Not always are you going to be right about posting about roadmaps, upcoming updates, things that are coming into a game, patches, whether it's a gacha game or a PvP, online multiplayer game, a story game, whatever it might, even if you're talking about a game that's coming out in the future. At the end of the day, content creators, especially people like me, there's a lot of people out there who react to stuff. You like to yap about things. It's nice to talk about stuff that's upcoming sometimes, and just kind of like, spitball it really, and just see what people have got to say about it, and just start a conversation. You're not always going to be right. Sometimes you might be talking out your ass, and I think that's fine, as long as, you're not stating it as fact. And I think most of the people don't really state it as fact. Maybe there's some people who do, but I think content creators are usually quite open with, hey, I don't know if this is true, I'm just kind of putting it out there kind of thing, and I think that's fair to do so. Yeah, I'll drop a like. Show Foxhole some love. I do like his vibe, actually. I do like his vibe. I find myself disagreeing with him quite regularly, but hey, we can disagree with people and still like them, can't we? What's going on, Loading? Spending all that money on gacha games makes the game way too easy too. My biggest regret with HSI. Yeah, I do. It's nice to have that that little bit of a challenge there, isn't it? I think sometimes missing out as well. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing, I think before you miss out, the fear of missing out is a thing. But like sometimes when you do miss out, you kind of like, no, there's been plenty of banners I've missed in other games. I'm like, I'm actually glad I didn't bother pulling on that banner now, because it would have been a waste, because I'd have potentially missed out on this other character, and hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? Zhang Li is really fun to use. I love his sound kit. Oh, dude, that's one thing I love about Zhang Li. The sound. Oh, so good. So good. Kind of reminds me of Liv a little bit from PGR. I love a dashing and a moving, the standard Liv. And there's just something so nice about the sound. Nero, I think I did see some of the one I think you're talking about. The one thing I'll say about Kuro, and I do glaze Kuro a little bit sometimes. And the reason I glaze them is not because I'm like some fanboy who's attached to a corporation at all. I just think we've got so many bad actors in the gaming space nowadays, haven't we? People who, let's not pretend that all companies are out to make money, because that'd be naive to think otherwise. But there's some companies who, they want to make money, but they actually care about the product they're making, don't they? They're passionate. They don't only care about the product for themselves. They want to make a product that people enjoy as well. They care what the community thinks, and we don't have enough of that in this space. And I think it's fair to like, credit where credit's due. Give it to those sort of developers, because there's plenty of developers out there that don't give a damn about the product, that actively will put out product that they know subpar, but they're getting it out because they're thinking about revenue. And then when people have a problem with it, they will actively show the disdain for the community and gamers in general, which we see so much of that nowadays, especially in Western AAA spaces, don't we? How many times have we seen a developer or a lead designer or a producer or a director on a game talking smack about gamers when they don't necessarily agree with a product they're putting out? It's as if, well, you don't agree with my view, you're terrible. And sometimes you see this attitude of, well, we don't care about those sort of gamers anyway. We're trying to sell a product to a base that doesn't exist. Where one thing with Kuro, and there's other developers out there that do that, all like this, that, they care. And that's a really, really, really good thing to see in the gaming space nowadays. We don't see enough of it, and I think it's fair to, Fair to glaze a little bit, you know? I think sometimes a little bit of glazing's okay. What's going on, Riona? Zhang Liya makes your controller vibrate so much. I glaze Corolla a lot because I'm an idiot and new to gacha. A company willing to sacrifice profit for player satisfaction is a rare commodity, especially in gaming. Yep, definitely. Agree with that. Agree with that. It's about finding that balance as well, isn't it? As long as they find that right balance where they're making enough money to keep this game going and, you know, they get to live a decent livelihood off it, because I think they should live a decent livelihood if they're giving us something good. But also, you know, that balance to make sure that we've got a good product and we get to really enjoy something, which, as you say, it's quite rare. It's quite rare. All right, let's have a little look here, see if there's any more videos to check out, and then we'll hop onto PGR a little bit, do a bit of PGR, and then we're gonna jump onto WuWa and do the what's it event, the Tower event. I did end up doing the elusive realm last night. I couldn't help myself. I hopped off stream because Rosie got back yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the last elusive realm on stream tomorrow, but I was just like, I'm just gonna do it now, and I did that. So we'll do some of the event today. That's the plan anyway. I do want to play some Deadlock tonight as well. So yeah. I'm starting to see Dauntless pop up on my stuff again. It's probably because I looked for it the other day, but there still seem to be people making content on Dauntless, which is interesting. We're going to do some Zenly Zone Zero as well soon, guys. Is there any breakdowns of 1.2? Because I did watch the stream. But I was kind of like doing other stuff as well. I saw the racing, I saw all that sort of stuff. So I want to see if anybody's done like kind of a bit of a breakdown, but it's probably a little bit too early to ask for that really yet. Today, that's just animations for Bernice and Caesar. Oh yeah, as well. There is I said there's racing in the game now. They're going to be adding racing to the game, which is kind of cool.
In this version,
I must admit the 1.2 update for ZZZ does look decent.
In this version's adventure, proxies will also get to experience the thrill and joy of riding a motorcycle. Vroom, vroom.
Are you actually going to be able to race?
Come race with us in the outer ring. And
I'm curious to see how this handles as well, because a lot of the time with games that like tend to have, you know, their mobile games as well. Whenever they have some sort of like driving mechanic / mount mechanic in them, they're very stiff and just not very nice. So hopefully it feels good.
as the baddest biker gang around, we got loads of members.
And even though it won't be in the upcoming update, by version 1.4, proxies will be able to explore the city freely as any one of your agents.
Jeez, bro. She actually interacted with that bottle on the floor, though. That's cool.
Also, once
Small,
proxies complete a certain amount of the main storyline, starting from version 1.2,
yeah, I think she's going to be a character we need to pull, right? It's probably because she's got a really good kit. That's what it is. Nothing other than that, you know? Definitely.
be able to advance the clock as you wish. No longer will proxies have to worry about.
Hey, Loading, thank you very much for the $20 super chat, bro. Appreciate that very much. I listen to your videos at work and it gets me through the day, so here's $20. Thanks for the great videos and entertainment discussions. Well, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Guys, can we get some love in the chat for Loading? Thank you for that. I'm glad, hey, if it gets you through work, that's a positive. And once again, thank you for that. And I'm glad you have been enjoying the videos and the discussions. That's why I like, I was saying this earlier, that's why I like to react to content recently, because some of my favorite content is when somebody's just yapping and it's like, oh, it makes you like question some stuff and want to talk about it. I love that sort of content. So thank you very much. Hi Poo. Hi Poo. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. And I'm glad you've been enjoying the content as well. I am. But yeah, 1.2. It's looking all right. It's looking okay. I'm interested. We need to get back into what's it actually? Into we need to get back into Zenly Zone Zero, actually. So I was just replying to that comment as well. I remember that from the Icy Screams. What was that? Didn't we have that in 1.0? What's that? Sorry. Let me just see what chat's saying here. Yes, yeah. I saw that Neuros of, you know, that it looked like they're you can see from, was it the CEO? How different the dude looks from launch day to now. You can tell there's been lots of sleepless nights, which is one thing I don't want to see them do. I want to see everybody who's working at the company keeping themselves safe, you know, looking after the health. At the end of the day, I don't want to see people getting ill for my entertainment. That's for sure. I can imagine they're trying not to increase their overheads at the moment, because this is one thing I was talking about before in regards to revenue, which some people never take into account. One person's 50 million might not be as much ROI as another person's 25 million. Overhead, staff, all this sort of stuff is all a big thing as well. And how much you're spending has a massive factor on how much you're earning as well. Because if you're spending 99% of the money that's coming in, you're not making that much money. But if you're only spending 50%, then you're doing a lot better, aren't you? It's just, you got to look at all those sorts of things as well. Solomon looks dead in that video. He recently showed up at an official event with PGR players and have a speech thanking everyone. He looks normal as you. Oh, that's good to see then, Nikito. That's good to see. Yeah, shout out to Loading. Thank you very much for the super chats. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya. Shout out to everybody. As well, I want to say, actually, shout out to everybody who's been watching the videos recently. It's very much appreciated. The support. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Sharing, liking, commenting, all that sort of stuff as well. You know, minute to minute watch time's been up as well. Insanely up, actually. Like sometimes 300, 400% up on what my videos were before. So I'm glad people are enjoying the content. Oh, question as well. Who's played Aether Gazer here? Because I've been wanting to play that on PC, but you have to use an emulator and I just can't be arsed. I was hoping that was going to get a PC client soon. So I did install it on my mobile, but I can't play action games on mobile. And it is an action game, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Loading. I was saying this as well. And I think specifically as well for Wuthering Waves, I can see Wuthering Waves, his revenue is probably a lot higher on PC than it is on mobile. I think a lot of games probably do tend to lean into mobile being a majority of the revenue, specifically if they've got no PC client, of course. Yeah, I think there's a massive part of the audience of Wuthering Waves is PC. It would be nice. I'd just be interested to see what the revenue is sometimes, because I genuinely think, say, they're taking 30 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 15 million on PC. Because majority of the people I know do play on PC. There is people who play on mobile. I know there is. I've spoken to people who play on mobile. But there's even people who I know play on mobile. They're like, yeah, I dabble here and there. I'm just waiting for the PlayStation version, really. True, Neurons, definitely. People love to use it to bash against other people as if, hey, look how much the game made this month, man. You know, I haven't seen a penny of it, but some guy's getting rich. It's like, is he? That's good. Good for you there, man. When you're going to buy a new car with all that extra revenue, bro. Let me know when you do, and I might start glazing as well, so I can get some revenue. That's how it works, right? If you hype up a company and get super parasocial with it, you start getting some of the revenue. Yeah, it's just how it works. That's what I've heard anyway. That's what some dude on the internet said. Oh, here we go. Zenless have actually posted the 1.2 teaser. Let me pause that and get stream back up. Get chat back up. Right, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at this then. Because as I said, I did watch the stream earlier, but I was kind of like in and out of the stream. I was waiting for my little code actually. They only gave out one, and then it went into like about a 40-minute or half-hour long bloody concert that I just wasn't interested in. So let's check this out then. Zenless Zone Zero version 1.2 teaser Tour de Inferno. Zenless Zone Zero. Pardon me.
All right, all you diesel-loving rascals, watching on TV, listen on the radio.
I like the way it's kind of centered around the outskirts of the city, which is kind of cool. Definitely leaning into the more American cultural aspect of the game now, aren't they?
30, 40, or even 50 years ago, a young man performed the miracle of diving into the flames and returning a hero. And in just a few minutes, new heroes will recreate the legendary Tour d'Inferno. The rules are simple. Whoever completes the ritual first will be crowned overlord.
I absolutely love the cutscenes in this game. The the aesthetic is great, but the actual like expressions that the characters have in the cutscenes, they're just the top tier. I would really love to see a Zenly Zone Zero animation, because I'm never usually one for the 3D anime kind of thing. I like it when it's like, I know a lot of computers are involved nowadays, but I like it when it's got that more, you know, hand-drawn kind of look to it. But man, the cutscenes in this game slap. I'll be here for an entire series that look like Zenless does in its cutscenes.
The Tord Inferno is officially on! Time for
Finally, Ohio and CCC.
We're the Sons of Caledon. I'm the current boss, Caesar. I won't budge. Even one.
She actually does look pretty cool, actually. She got a break on the sword then. It looked like she had, yeah.
Ready for a fiery feast?
I feel like she's going to be making people's mobile phones run hot with all of these fire effects here. It's cool.
Warning. A significant increase in ether concentration.
Look at the booba too, you know?
The weak and the worthless have no place in this age. With the power of ether, I will establish a new order in this leaderless outer ring. A kingdom completely under my control!
I'm supposed to be here. Leave it to me.
Caesar! Stop!
Was that an orangutan? Was that an orangutan that I just saw then? Yeah, this artwork as well. This artwork looks great. I just got to go back there. I swear I saw an orangutan. Yeah, look. Oh, where is he? Okay. Is this going to be an upcoming character then? Interesting. I generally prefer WuWa style, but Holy, yes, I agree. Wuthering Waves, I think, is an absolutely gorgeous game, but I think they're cooked so hard in Zenless Zone Zero. I really do like the style of Zenless. I do. I love how bright and vibrant it is as well. I really do like that about it. Why is an orangutan living in the desert? Why is the rat women with super big butts? I don't know, but I'm here for it. Okay. New area looks cool. I do think some of the S rank engines look cool, but I'm just not a massive fan of the engines full stop in the way that they look visually in the menus. I know it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. But yeah, just not an actual fan of it. One thing I will say that I'm not a big fan in Zenless Zone Zero, I'm not big on the pull animation. Now, I know that some people like, well, that doesn't really matter, but I suppose it's the monkey brain, you know? It's the endorphin side of me. I like a good pull animation that's like, you know, get you like, wait, and it just doesn't do it for me, Zenless doesn't. I like it when you get your character, you kind of get like the 3D character standing there and it gives you the different angles. That's cool, but the music, the whole animation, it's just not it, like. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. The mag moves are a really good part of this game. Bizarre Brigade. Okay, this is cool. This is the sort of stuff that I want to see in Wuthering Waves. You know, when I was talking before about these sort of abstract little game modes, there's one in Solo Leveling Arise. I think it's done now because the 100-day event's done. But there was like one where like you had I think there were bears, if I remember right now, where like they go across the screen and you click I think it's shift and they drop down, and then you basically you had to stack them on top of each other, kind of like a Jenga tower, and you got like 3 misses, and then like it was to see how high you could get. Really simple, not much to it, but just cool. Like it's like a little something that takes you out of the normal gameplay loop of moving around, the combat and all this sort of stuff, and it feels like you're almost playing another little game within a game. I like those sort of events are doing. I'd like to see Wuthering Waves do more of those. I'd like to see them do something with the chibis and maybe have some sort of like turn-based combat mode where it's like a tile-based, turn-based battle system. I think that'd be kind of cool as well. I think they could do something with those chibis, and I hope we do see something in future with them, because I think the artwork and all those chibis was gorgeous. This event does look like a W though, I must admit. Overlord's Feast. Okay. Makes sense to have like a biker's tavern. If you're gonna have a biker gang, you gotta have like their hideout, haven't you? Okay, some updates on the TV system, because I do think there's potential to really add some cool stuff to the TV. I wasn't a TV hater. I just think the TV system was applied badly to the story. I think it's a cool, quite unique system that has some real potential to actually have something cool in the game. It's just that just didn't do it very well. But this looks kind of cool. I see. I was in and out of the stream. I didn't notice this. Yeah, I'm here for all of these little things. I'm really here for these. Friendship Fair. Phantom Hunt. Ambush mode. Okay. Okay, double rewards. It's always good. Advanced bounty routine cleanup. This update is quite big, man. This is quite a big W, I must admit. I had a fair few criticisms of Zenless Zone Zero when I like the game. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you have to clarify this, which is kind of weird nowadays. If you criticize a game, you automatically hate it. I like Zenless Zone Zero. I do. And I had some criticisms of it, but this is a really decent looking update, man. There's a lot of stuff coming to this that's not just banners and a new area and new additions to the story. There's a lot of cool looking little gameplay elements that I'm definitely here for. I think one thing, having the arcade system in the game as well is a big factor that's going to allow them to inject a load of new stuff into the game as well, isn't it? All right, cool. Okay, I missed so much. As I said, I watched the stream earlier, but I was doing other stuff. I was getting stuff edited and getting stuff uploaded. That I missed all of that, pretty much all of that. There, I didn't see that. Massive. This is a huge update. Actually, I'm really looking forward to this now. So yeah, I got to give that a like. Am I not subscribed to Zenless Zone Zero? Okay, nobody saw that. Yeah, Zenless are cooking with that. Zenless are massively cooking with that. I've got to give them huge props there. This looks like a really good update, actually. I'm here for it. Can't wait to check it out, actually. We got to get back to Zenless. We got to crack through the content and get caught up. All right, let me see what you guys are saying anyway. Wonder ever happened to... Oh, I see. I think he stopped streaming ages ago, actually. Wonder how they'll cry about skin clothing next day. They'll praise their company like a cool. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. Their agendas only go so far. Oh, this company's terrible for this. I'm boycotting it. Wait a minute. Somebody from another community. Hey, yeah, I love him. I love him. I know, yeah. I'm liking the orangutan, though. It looks cool. We should definitely trade out some of their collectathon events for something like that. Agree. I do agree. I think that's where one of Wuthering Waves' weakest points at the moment is the events at the moment just feel like the only thing you get out of them is rewards. Now, I'm not saying they're bad. They're just, they're just not all that for me, to be fair. I'd like something a little bit different and something with a little bit more meat on the bones. But I've said it enough. I don't need to keep saying it. That's true. Actually, that's true, Neros. I said this multiple times. I think us gamers, I think we're all guilty of it sometimes. We're very good at pointing out problems in video games, are we? We're not really that great at coming up with solutions. And typically when we do come up with a solution, it's very specific to our own needs. And we're not really thinking about everybody else, are we? So it must be really hard from a game making point of view to listen to all this information coming in, digest it, break it down, and then put out something that works for everybody. Might not be the best for individuals, but it's the best for the overall community. Man, all these gachas, I recently lost my job. Well, I'm sorry to hear you lost your job. I'm telling you, man, it's too much. It's too much. It really is. At the moment, the only one that I actually do spend any money on, although I'm a very light spender, is Wuthering Waves. I buy the podcast every month and the monthly pass, and I've bought one of the 30 packs and one of the 15 packs, I think. I have spent money on Star Rail in the past and Genshin. Only very little though, probably like 60, 70 quid between the both games. And to be fair, Genshin, that was people in chat sending me money to buy stuff. Yeah, so like everything else, I'm free to play. And like Wuthering Waves is really the only game that I make sure I keep up with every day to make sure I get my stuff done. I have more recently like been hopping in and doing my at least getting my login stuff for like Cat Fantasy. Don't shame me. Don't shame me. I'm getting 10 pulls every day, man. Come on, you know, I've got a login. And the game's kind of all right, actually. Solo leveling as well. I've just recently started hopping in on Zenless as well, because I am planning to get back into Zenless in the next couple of days, so I might as well start getting my my dailies done. And obviously, I've just started PGR as well, so like I'm trying to log in to at least get stuff done on PGR to a small amount. And Terra Fantasy, although I haven't logged into Terra Fantasy for a few days, I am going to get back to Terra Fantasy, though. Because, hey, hot take, I kind of like Terra Fantasy. It's been fun. I've really been enjoying it. The only... out of like the major games that I haven't been playing recently, it's Genshin and Star Rail. I haven't played Genshin for quite a while now, and I've not played Star Rail for probably since we were launched now. Being graphics designer fresh out of college, it's hard to get a job lately. I feel you're in there. Gig work is incredibly hard. The guy been editing these videos is kind of gone. I hope something comes up soon for you, dude. I really do. You filthy Hoyoshil, how dare you subscribe to ZZZ? You don't love yourself. I don't think I do. I think this is where I look at my... Have you seen my desktop here, bro? Look at all these gacha games, right? Okay? We've got a couple of, like, Deadlock, goated game. If you haven't played this yet, guys, it's fire. It's fire. But look at all these gacha games, man. Of course, I don't love myself. I've got Cat Fantasy, for God's sake. You know? Hey, no cap though. The game is kind of fun. I like the combat. It's all right. You know, if you like Star Rail, I think you'll get something out of it. It's not to that quality. I'm not going to pretend it's not got the polish. It's not, you know. Well, it's fun. It's fun. I like it. I do like it. Let me just have a little look here then, and we're going to get into it, man. We are going to play some video games today, guys. We are going to play some video games. I kind of want to watch this other video from Foxhole, though, talking about Kuro Games' generosity to the community. We're going to watch it. Good. We've already watched a video from him today, but I do want to watch this because I think it's something that I've been interested in and I like to talk about, and it's a double-edged sword. You know, generosity, you know, it makes your community feel good. It makes them feel respected. But then if you go too far, you kind of stop people spending. And then you might get yourself into a bit of a cycle of people expecting that generosity to continue and maybe expand. And then how do you balance that all out? It's something that I do find interesting. So let's see what Foxhole's got to say about it then. Kuro Games' generosity to the community. Let's have a look.
Good day to all you glorious rascal.
Do I play any JRPGs? I haven't for a while, but I am a JRPG fan.
Resonators. The name's Fox Soul. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And like always, I'm hoping that you're having a terrific, fantastic, amazing day.
Well, thank you.
So, what is today's subject about?
I'll give Foxhole. He's pretty smooth.
Today's subject of topic is going to be about
Scarlet Nexus is fire. I absolutely love Scarlet Nexus.
About Kuro Games themselves, the publisher, developer of Wuthering Waves, and just about the generosity that they have provided to the player base of Wuthering Waves.
Yeah, I've been incredibly generous.
If you're interested in this topic, feel free to take a seat at the bar, grab yourself
Same
something
here,
cold to
Neros.
drink, relax, and let's dive right into the topic.
Okay, let's get into it.
Now, I want to make sure that first and foremost,
Every time I see Zhang Li out, I just think of how much better he looks in game than he did on the art. That's why I'm really curious about like Lumi and Yoo-Hoo. Although we've kind of seen Yoo-Hoo and Shorekeeper in game now, I'm curious to see what Lumi looks like in game because I thought he looked kind of mid when we first saw him. I liked his design, but I just thought he looked a bit mid in game. I think he looks actually really good, actually.
foremost, when we are going to be discussing this, that everybody understands that, you know, I do like to ramble, and I'm going to try to stay on point with
Need to
the
see him have a fight with
subject as
Saitama.
best as possible, because I like to discuss the elements of, first and foremost, you know, I want to discuss, you know, what has Kuro Game given us? What are the pros and the cons of what Kuro Game has given us? To the weaponization that other content creators are somewhat using against, you know, Kuro Games by giving away, you know, such things as free 5-star vouchers for...
I've definitely seen people within the community comment sections, all that sort of stuff, definitely weaponizing it as if it's like a terrible thing. Now, I think it's something worth speaking about in regards if they go too far. It's not good for them. And ultimately won't be good for us because that would mean they're not making money and they're not going to keep adding stuff to the game that we'd like to see them added. Or you know, there's definitely a fine balance between it. But like, yeah, some people are really weird about the generosity. I think it's just probably because they're annoyed that they're not getting it in the game. That's the game they're playing more of, maybe potentially. I don't know. People are weird on the internet at the end of the day.
Characters, Yao, for example. These are different elements that, you know, all come together, and just my general thought process behind it as well.
I agree. I do agree, Loading.
Foremost, what
I hope
Kuro
so anyway.
Games has done, and this has been done since 1.0 into 1.1 into 1.2, but Kuro Games, you know, if you haven't been under a rock, has been a exceptional developer, if you would. And what I mean by that is that with the most recent updates and everything, you can see that we're playing Yao, which is a free 5-star character that Kuro Games, all you had to do was a simple little event, get 6,000 points, and boom, you got this character for free. All right.
So many people like, it's not free. You've got to play the game. You've got to do the event. Then, and time is currency, which is true. Time is the most valuable currency. But like, it's like, come on, bro. Come on, man. You know, you're getting a free 5-star. Are you telling me that spending a couple of hours just to get up to the popularity level to claim a free character that would have cost you potential money or lots of your pulls for an next banner is not a good thing? It's like, come on, man. Let's be sensible now.
All honesty, you still have to earn it a little bit, but let's be honest, 6,000 popularity points for the Moonlit Festival crap wasn't anything. The Moon Festival was nothing for 6,000 points. But you did it, and you got a free Yao. Before, they gave us a voucher for, you know, a free 5-star character of your choosing. They gave you a list of characters. I think it was like 4 or 5 characters. And, hey, you pick one of the characters, and it's yours. So why would Kuro Games do this? First and foremost, I do understand.
It must be evil, man. I can't go past a goat without killing it. I feel bad doing it, but then I'm like, hey, man, I'm stacking up on meat.
And trust me, a lot of people don't believe that, you know, I'm intelligent. But first and foremost, yes, it was a marketing strategy by Kuro Games, if you want to really think about it. because for players out there who were on the edge of...
I think as well, it was probably potentially keeping people engaged throughout a filler patch as well, which at the end of the day, keeping people on these games is important if you're going to want them to spend as well, to get that sort of, that attachment to the title. This is why as well, I think that I'd like to see Kuro go down a bit of a different route with Wuthering Waves in regards to keeping people playing for the sake of playing rather than just always being about rewards. And that's why I think I want to see some thinking outside of the box with events and some cool stuff that's got a lot of replayability to it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I ain't going to go too much into it because I banged on about dungeons and things like that for a while, and overworld bosses and stuff like that. That's, you know, can be played over and over again in different ways with affixes and nerfs and buffs, and, you know, there's levels to it and potential little Easter eggs and areas that you can't find on the first playthrough but open up on the, you know, the second, third or fourth playthrough. It just, you know, keep you coming back to the game for the game itself rather than being like, well, I better get on today because I've got the potential to get 300 asteroids, which is good. But I think that, you know, they should try and keep people wanting to stay around, I guess, rather than being like,
I'm not sure if I want
well, we want them to go and play other stuff, because
an appetizing sample.
I don't know if that's going to be best for revenue.
Of a free 5-star
that's how I think anyway,
voucher,
personally.
You know, where you could have picked Baran, you could have picked Xianxi, you could have picked Calchero, whatever. With that list, Lin Yang was a very smart move behind Kuro Games, as it was a way of, you know, for new players to be enticed to come in, pick up Wuthering Waves, and play. Faster. And I give them full props on that. With that, though, it wasn't just free 5-star characters that they gave. There's been, like, some issues with Wuthering Waves with, you know, translation issues here.
Right, I remember all those little issues. He was like, yeah, this has not affected me, but thank you. I'll take the free stuff. Thank you very much.
Performance problems. And Kuro Games, you know, has compensated players very generously. Very generously.
Segue. Apologies for keep pausing it. I'm terrible for this sort of stuff. I turn a 10-minute video into a 30-minute video. But the rumors of Project Nami, I think it is, that Kuro are potentially working on this new game. The rumors have kind of been leading of it being a sort of open world game. What do you guys think about that? Because I think that would be kind of, hey, I'm just a smooth brain, but I don't think that would be the best thing to do, is go down with an open world game, because they've already got their like premium game here, which is their open world game. I was thinking that, wouldn't it be better to kind of move down the line of an instanced action combat game and almost kind of like a spiritual successor to PGR in a way? Because that's like got a beloved community. You know, it's not been marketed the best. It's still chugging along, like, but I just feel like with the updating technology, their experience now, their quality, them understanding the space a lot more now, that potentially they could make like a follow-on to PGR in a sense, like a spiritual successor with a similar sort of combat and sort of play, you know, style overall. And they could make a killer game like that could be really popular as well, you know, probably potentially to actually go toe-to-toe with something like Zenless, maybe.
My personal opinion, especially like with the ecosystem, when, you know, they realized, yeah,
some people talking about it might be a little bit like Gravity Rush.
We're gonna repay y'all guys back like what, over 1 million shells and stuff like this. And they did that, you know, they didn't have to, they did that. And that's where Kuro Games really earns my respect, is that they went above and beyond, in my personal opinion, to showcase that they actually are listening, that they actually do care about their players.
This is true.
You know, the people who are actually playing this game, and they want to do more to make sure that they're having the best experience.
They seem to be genuinely apologetic about problems as well, don't they?
Yes, giving, you know, free characters such as Yao, as whatever your choosing of was for the free 5-star voucher. Kuro Games has really earned my respect as a developer, and is one of the main reasons that I do very much put Wuthering Waves at a high regards, and I do hold it to a pretty heavy, you know, status compared.
You know, when it comes to mining now, I just use a little hover droid pistol thing because it one-taps minerals from range, doesn't it? It's such a life hack.
Compared to other developers that I have you know,
Let's go to Rihanna. You still watch his dude? Yeah, I like to watch his videos from time to time.
Kuro Games is one of the very few developers that I actually see that there is a passion behind.
I agree with that.
What they're trying to do for us as players.
Watch out.
Now, with that being stated, though, I will say that, you know, there is some pros. There's
Are they? I haven't built Zhang Li Yao yet. I haven't really used him, but I'll have to try that because
those cons are what some...
my team that I'm just having fun with at the moment. It's not meta really. It's just Jinxie, Zhang Li, and Verena. I think Zhang Li is just so much fun to use. Full stop.
People in general are using to weaponize against Wuthering Waves. And you're going to be like, probably like me originally, and be like, how the hell, you know, can you weaponize? Like, why would anybody, you know, look at, you know, giving away
I'd be interested in that, Neuros.
Or, you know, free compensation be a bad thing, their generosity being a bad thing, because that's all, you know, in all honesty, it is a pro move for you as a player, as for me as a player. So the only one that's hurting is Kuro Games. Well, some people are using it as a weaponized event, and I will say it like this. I'm sure you've ran across maybe one or two videos in this regard that's like trying to say that Kuro Games, the reason why Yao's even a free 5-star unit, for example, is because Kuro Games is hurting right now because...
See, I must be lucky in terms of the... Well, not lucky, because just because somebody's voicing an opinion that might not be, I guess, setting the future of the game in the most positive light is a bad thing. But I don't really see that many content creators really making those sort of videos. I see a lot of people commenting those sort of comments. I see it on my videos as well, like, you know what I mean? The game's dead, who wants the game to die? It's already happened kind of stuff. You know, and talking about, well, this is why they're giving this free stuff, because they can't get people to buy it and everything. But I don't really see that many creators making content that seems like that's the message behind it. Like they're kind of like just throwing shade at Kuro all the time. I think there's a lot of people who are content creators in the space that recognize Wuthering Waves to actually be a decent game, even if it's not the game they like to play that much, or it's not their main game. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at different content creators.
Players aren't playing the game, and they're trying to bring players into the game.
If you want, just type it in, because I don't know if Nightbot might block the link. She might block the link, so if you just type the name in, I'll have a look for you.
They're trying to use this fucking website, which is Gotcha Revenue, which, first and foremost, before we continue on, I will say it like this. They're trying to use this Gotcha Revenue website to say that Wuthering Waves is in a situation where it's going to die. Heck, there is some people out there who think that, you know, Wuthering Waves is going to be at end of service before the end of the year. I know. If you watch my video content and such, you already know how much I despise these type of people.
Is it from Saxor? Is he? 8 days ago, Wuthering Waves from a Kuro Games fan. 22 minute video. I'm looking at the right one.
Because they don't actually do any type of research. They just say shit just to say it, and it's absolutely asininely fucking inept. It's truly remarkable to the extent that some people are going to make content, and this is how they're going to make content. But there is people out there that is stating this stuff, and they're using like the Gotcha Revenue system. And one of the videos that
sometimes I see Foxel as you know, that dude, get off my lawn kind of guy. No, I'm not saying he's wrong about a lot of the stuff he says. Like, it's just it just makes me laugh.
Over YouTube, which I'm not gonna mention, you know, who it is or whatever, but I'm sure that there is some people who've seen the videos, and
I haven't actually.
Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but the case idea behind it is that with the Gotcha Revenue, with what's happened with Wuthering Waves,
I think that the closest I've saw to, I guess, Wuthering Waves slander, if you want to use that term, was maybe the IO video when he was saying Wuthering Waves doesn't have a me. That video with that whole arc was hilarious in general. But yeah, I think that's the closest I've come to see, and that wasn't really against the game. It was more just them saying like, they ain't got me over there. That's what the game's missing. They need me.
The last month, you know, it's lost a lot of money. According to him, it went down by half, and that's a bad sign, blah blah blah. And Yao was a free unit in art to ensure that, you know, we could try to pull in players because, oh, I'll get this character for free with
although expected, we've already spoke about this with regarding to the revenue and stuff. It's never a good sign that revenue goes down. I think it's fair to say that, you know, you want to see it go up, don't you, really? Especially if you're working at Kuro, that is for sure. But of course, I'm just saying, just pointing that out.
Free 5-star voucher, all this other
yeah,
stuff.
that's what it feels like, Neros. That's what I'm thinking, like, I don't know if I can watch another 14 minutes of this, because it's kind of going over the same
like it's
beats.
In worse shape than what it actually fucking is. Now, in terms
we'll give it
of,
another minute or two and see if we get some.
Before, but I will say it again. In terms of GotchaRevenue.com, we have to understand that that website does not take into account a lot of different things. Number two, there was a lot of competition that came about with Wuthering Waves. You know, ZZZ was a competition. Whether people believe it or not, it was a competition because
everything's competition.
Let's put it this
I think
way.
the thing as well, what we'll start to find as well, with the Gacha, there's so many games coming out now, isn't there? The amount of spending is going to get seriously diluted just between multiple titles because there's just so many games, isn't there? You know, there's only so much money to go around, and each game's reaching out trying to get your money, that it's going to get diluted to some degree.
Wuthering Waves came out. ZZZ announced their release date.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this one. He's going along pretty much minute to minute to the previous video. We don't need to watch any more of this. We will watch this though. Let's check this out. Wuthering Waves from a Kuro Games fan.
Of Wuthering Waves.
Let me pause that. Let's get it back. Let's see this dude. Saxo. You know what? Preemptive sub we like to do. Drop a like on it. Wuthering Waves from a Kuro Games fan. Let's check it out. Drag that up a little bit.
So the reception of Wuthering Waves has been overwhelmingly mixed. You hear this, and this. But today I want to tell you the story of someone who had once thought this game had the perfect blueprint for everything that mattered. For that, we have to go back to 2020, when I first discovered.
I'm already liking the editing.
A little company called Kuro Game. Simply put, I fell in love with everything that Kuro valued. At first, it was the music. These unbelievable
the tunes slap in PGR. They absolutely slap.
Real tunes transported me to another world. Then it was the philosophy of their game design. The obvious emphasis on engaging with every mechanic in the game. The seamless flow and the beautiful synergy with each of them to this degree was something I had never experienced. And it was also just really fucking cool. I did not have any expectations.
It's like peak anime PGR is. And the very first time I tried it, I didn't appreciate the combat. It was the end of a stream. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, okay, this doesn't seem like that great of a combat system. I've heard people like raving about it. Second stream, played it properly, got it. Combat's insane. The game's super cinema, anime as hell. The music slaps. I've been really enjoying this game. Can't recommend it enough if you haven't tried it out and you're kind of looking for a little action game to play at the moment that's genuinely got some nuanced, enjoyable combat. Super fast paced as well.
But Kuro just understood a very specific beauty in bleakness. These vibes and atmosphere are so quintessentially me. It's like Kuro based it off of the deepest desires of my brain. The update sort of became a reward for enduring each month. And then, on one random day, word on the street was that Kuro Game would be making an open world action game and finally become Kuro Games. The inception of Wuthering Waves. This was it. The only thing PGR lacked was scale, and they can finally get that. I was so excited that I went out and bought the book Wuthering Heights just because it had one same word. Looking back at it, that was really dumb, but also kind of cute. That period of time was surreal.
I respect it.
The endless heights Wuthering Waves could possibly achieve. I was dead set that this game would be something special. However, reality is not always so kind.
The editing's really great on this.
It has been almost a month since Wuthering Waves released, and I never read Wuthering Heights until 2 days ago. What happened? Where did all the excitement go? Why didn't I read it before? And why am I reading it now? Well, this is how the unending excitement turned into constant disappointment.
I'm locked in here. I'm locked in.
This song is where it all began. The beginning of the end, if you will. The song's name is Flow. It was the very first piece of in-game music I heard of this game, way back in the technical test. This song changed me. The otherworldliness, the instrumentation, the immaculate use of distortions, and the fucking violin. It really did feel like this game had everything and more. The aura and soul in this piece was screaming at me, begging to be nurtured. This was the hallmark of Kuro Games, and was exactly what Kuro Games was to me.
Passion, isn't it,
but
really?
What happened next was a tragedy. This song has been lost ever since. The game went through major changes over its development cycle. Kuro Games went up against something way more powerful than they ever imagined. Gacha gamers. They more or less labeled all of Kuro's ideas as dogshit. The weight of pressure bore down on them like a relentless tide. They had a lot to prove and a lot of people to win back. The concept of the world was reduced to being soulless. They explicitly deviated from what's interesting about Wuthering Waves, what made Kuro Games Kuro Games. It instead moved towards what was already done, out of a desire to give what was not already given. As a consequence, however, the Kuro Games hallmarks that their own fans loved did not exist anymore. We lost this iconic moment. We lost the ideation of this as a whole. We lost all of these. As they released more trailers, every one of them felt more unimpressive than the previous ones.
Did the Crownly speak in the closed beta tests? Because I know there was that introduction like there was totally different initially, wasn't it? Because I know like 90% of the story got rewrote in this game, which was like a big factor to why I think the story itself was a little bit timid in parts and probably not wrote the best in places as well, you know? Obviously for me, I think the start of 1.0 and the end of 1.0 was, I enjoyed it. The middle part definitely did, like, it did fall a little bit flat. 1.1 got a lot better as well. But segue, is it just me? What is it? So many gacha games have absolute banger soundtracks, don't they? Like there's even some of like the games that are just like really, really small games have got insanely good soundtracks. So there's one thing I've noticed in the last few months of playing quite a variation of different games. Is that it's one thing they all kind of have in common, even if they're not that great, is that they seem to have banger soundtracks.
For me, and the game, as it is now, is utterly unrecognizable from what we were teased. These two are not the same game.
2 lines and then he killed Yang Yang. Really?
Like
damn.
Endlessly falling from the sky while seeing
Did
the
any play
world
any of
around
the
you
tests?
being destroyed and rebirthed to Kingdom Hearts 3. So many things went awry, and I can't really say what would have been better. Maybe what we have in the end was actually the best and most thought out version of the concept of the game. Ultimately though, it wasn't about the game being good or bad anymore. I lost interest because it was simply not the same thing that grabbed me. The world, the music, the atmosphere was entirely something else, and it was becoming increasingly obvious that Wuthering Waves would continue to deviate from its ideation, never to feel the same ever again.
This is tense and I don't know why. Does he get the love back?
It's July 17th, 2024. I am playing Wuthering Waves. Almost every day, in fact. It's weird, right? I just talked so much about how upset and uninterested I became at the game, and yet, I am still playing it. It is not like I am not upset anymore. I still bitch about it every day. However, I still continue to play it. This whole contradiction is surprisingly very relatable to basic human psychology, the craving for comfort, the comfort I have for Kuro games. So I want to talk about my experience with Wuthering Waves as someone who believes in Kuro, and hopefully discuss a little bit.
That's a good point what he's just made there in regards to gaming in general. You know, sometimes when we look back and we expect, well, we want games to to be what there was before, when sometimes that can just never happen. We change as people, games change. Sometimes they stay the same, and that's the problem. I was speaking about this before, like games can become like friends in a way, you know, that, you know, you both kind of change, or one of you changes and you can't be friends anymore. I know this is not exactly what he's speaking about, but he's just making me think about that actually, of like yearning for something that once was, but it's not anymore. I'm really liking this video so far. I'm glad you pointed this out to me.
About human psychology, because thinking too much about what your thoughts of a game is surprisingly effective to make you reflect on how humans naturally act. During the time of release, the only thing I did not know about the game was the only thing motivating me to try it out, the story. Everything else made me disappointed at what could have been. However, before talking about the story, I want to address the obvious. To no one's surprise, I was dazzled by the combat. Yeah, it was the best combat in the entire genre. It tests your understanding of the game with incredible synergy.
I agree with this.
The fluidity and harmony between the mechanics are practically screaming at you at every moment you play. But it also achieved something far greater for me. It blew away my doubts of Kuro game. It is not the direction that I hoped, but it was built with the same values of Kuro games. The ones I fell in love with, the ones with meticulous emphasis on encouraging player engagement. It is unmissable. It is so intuitive and self-evident.
I'm going to say something here, I know will annoy some people when they watch this, or if they're in the comment section now. And I'm not dogging on Genshin, because I like Genshin, and I like the combat in Genshin. It's different, but I do kind of like, I know some people like rag on it hard, but in my opinion, I think in terms of an action combat game, granted, they're different. I just think, I almost find it offensive that it gets compared, and some people argue that it's better. Now, we all have our subjective opinions, and this is mine, of course, but to me, it's just on another level. Wuthering Waves is, I really like PGRs as well, but in terms of like an open world, expressive, free roam combat action game, it's insane. Like it steps out of the gacha space, in my opinion, and goes head to head with other action games, and sometimes puts them to shame, in my opinion. It's so tight, it's so fluid, it's so smooth, it looks so good. The nuances, the layers to it, the synergy, the thought process that's gone into it, in my eyes, is just incredible. I really do believe that. I know this sounds like I'm glazing hard now. There's a lot of things that I've got issue with in the game, but the combat is definitely not one of them. The combat, in my eyes, is so freaking good in this game. It's you know, it's Kuro just seem to get combat, don't they? They understand action combat. So I'm interested to see what they do in the future as well.
Evidently obvious when you just play it. I think one of my friends just sums it up perfectly. With what they did with the direction they chose, it is utterly impossible to make the combat any better. Deep down, I wanted this game to cook because of the comfort I previously got from Kuro games. Remember how I said each update of Punishing Grey Raven felt like a reward for enduring each month? The profound impact it had on me cannot be understated. Getting on PGR at the end of the day, talking about it, listening to its music, engaging with everything surrounding it, became a way.
The things he's talking about there remind me of the days of like Final Fantasy 8 and 9 and 7 of like they're getting through the parts of the game to get that cutscene was so peak. I know it's different, but somewhat similar in regards to the feeling it gave you.
To relieve stress, it became a comfort. I wanted more of that in Wuthering Waves. Even though I saw so many red flags, I still wanted to try it out in the desperate hope that it somehow proved me wrong. I had many conversations with people who told me to just ignore the game if it bothered me so much. Anyone would, because of my incessant complaints day in and day out. But looking back at it, my reason for still keeping an eye out, my reason for still wanting to talk about this game, was nothing more than the selfish hope that somehow my belief in Kuro game would be justified. That I didn't just believe in them for the sake of it. Basically, I was being a tsundere little bitch. But it's fascinating how even in such
we all do it sometimes.
Things like video games, we humans want to keep our comfort zones as safe as possible. There are so much talk on the internet about going out of your comfort zone and how your comfort zones are harming your growth. And there definitely is merit to that, but isn't it also incredibly warm to be embraced by your comfort zone?
True.
The feeling
there
of
is
serene
growth
tranquility
in breaking
makes
out
you
of the
think
comfort
that
though.
comfort zone as something
Creating new
absolutely
comfort
faultless.
sometimes is
My
an
hope
amazing
in Kuro
thing.
games might have been similar to that, as I was still hoping that Wuthering Waves would be incredible. Even when you see something that is clearly wrong, completely irrational, your mind does its utmost to ignore it just because of the sheer want of comfort. In a way, this is so beautiful. A very beautiful form of naivety that every person wants to feel safe. But going back to Wuthering Waves, as I said, the direction is not something that generally appeals to me. However, what is done has been done with the utmost meticulous attention and can
I've head out now, but it was awesome to finally catch a stream. Enjoy the rest of the stream and enjoy your day. Loading, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat as well earlier. I'm really glad that you popped by us on. I'm glad that you've been enjoying the content, and hopefully I'll see you again as soon. Have an amazing rest of your day as well. Stay safe.
not be understated. This is what Kuro Games is to me, and I could not be more glad that at the end of the day, it is still them. However different the form is, the mechanics in the game, like the Forte circuits, the boss design, the echoes, and especially the intro and outro skills are so deeply intertwined with each other. It's remarkable. The synergy between how every mechanic interacts with each other is unprecedented levels of cool.
Yeah.
And at the center of it all is the intro and outro skills, just like the Matrix in Punishing Grey Raven.
Yeah, for me, like with the QTEs as well, was kind of like the precursor to the intro and outro skills, wasn't it? I was speaking about these. I think that's definitely where Snowbreak took their idea from. I can't remember what they're called in Snowbreak now, but there's a kind of similar system where when you're in Snowbreak, of you can kind of bring, they're like, it's like a tag system. You can bring them in to do a special attack and then they hop back out kind of thing. That's kind of like a bit similar to, and it was obviously, I'm going to assume, was inspired by PGR. But yeah, it's definitely like an evolution. You can see things after like playing a little bit of PGR now, the things that were like kind of a bedrock for stuff for Wuthering Waves, and it's good to see that evolution.
It really did feel like in search of copper, I may have stumbled upon gold, because the story too has shown me more promise than I ever expected. I had known nothing of it, so in turn I had no expectations. But to my pleasant surprise, very quickly I realized that they have something cooking, something just out of reach. Perhaps it is because of their inexperience of this style of storytelling. Perhaps
what's going on, Riley? I've got a new video coming up later today. Actually, I might upload this.
Brilliance were glimmering.
The QTE, you know, like I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Obviously, I'm new, so the terminology might be I might be missing it, but it's like where you obviously, depending on the color that you've got of the character, you build up the, I don't know what you want to call it, the energy around the character, kind of like I guess it's kind of like Concerto in a way, and then you can bring the character in, then do like a little attack, and then the hop out kind of thing, you know, like the tag in, tag out. That makes sense?
Particular was the beginning of Act 6, an esoteric depiction of the most grounded and relatable internal conflicts. That was when, for the first time in the game's
was it Nihongai as well, was it?
I went, yeah, this is Kuro Games. But unfortunately, their focus on the groundedness of their characters are few and far between. What the actual fuck was the Yinlin story, dude? But they do show promise, and that is precisely where I
like
want them
story,
to focus more. I know the writer of this game can write the most believable human emotions in the most unbelievable way. They have already sown the seeds for that in Wuthering Waves.
Yeah,
all that
definitely.
is left
You
is
got to build up to it.
Now what?
Yeah, agree. You got to nurture it to get emotional impact in a story as well. It's like when in a TV show when a character's killed off. It only really ever impacts you if the characters had time to be nurtured and built up, and you get time with the character, and then when they're inevitably killed off, you feel something. That's why too many shows go wrong with that. They try and speed run through arcs, so they introduce a character, you don't get time to warm to the character, and then they're killed, and it's like, I didn't feel anything there. So like, I definitely do think, not saying that they're going to kill off characters, but in regards to getting those emotional impacts with different points of the story, definitely does take time, and I think they're even better then. They're sweeter, aren't they? Because it's took a little bit longer for it to happen. It's like, look at Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a perfect example of that. Like, the amount of times that you kind of like thought you were kind of looking at the protagonist and they die, and then, you know, characters that you started off hating, you started to really like, and then they died. And they really did the writing within that, obviously in the books and the show for the first, up until we know what happened at the end, was done so well that he was always questioning what was going to happen, and when things did inevitably happen, that they hit a lot harder, didn't they? And I thought that was a really good thing in that. And that's what one thing I hope to see within this, that we take our time to get to those story beats. Don't rush it because people need to have it straight away. Build it up, and then there'll be ever more, the more impactful.
What about the world building? How well the world is built is probably directly proportional to how much
there,
of the
Riley.
world I want to see.
We go
So
broke with
take
this
a
one.
guess. How much of the world have I explored in the past month of playing every single day? 42%. So it should give you an idea of if my opinion of it had gotten better. In fact, I think it got even worse. The reason is quite simple. The world, as it is currently, is utterly devoid of a sense of being. This was the first.
I don't know if we'll see what his point is. He might make a good point. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I just think sometimes I am the same. I haven't really. I think the maximum of an area I've probably got to like 60 to 70% completion. I'm not really a mint picker in that regard. I will eventually, but it's not me. I think I've said this multiple times. I think sometimes open world games, the world itself can be a detraction from the game sometimes, unless you create something that's so living and breathing that it feels like every time you move through it, infinite things can happen. So it makes the act of traversal so immersive and replayable. Take like Red Dead Redemption 2. For me, that's like almost as good as it gets in regards to it's alive, isn't it? So going around the world, there's so many things that you see even years later that you just was like, dude, I didn't even know about that. That's crazy. And interactions that are just so cool and fun. I think this is where gacha games are going to struggle, because the world is always a secondary design factor, and it's expensive to create those sort of worlds, and I don't think that's ever going to be a major focus. And open worlds can detract from getting around sometimes. Once you've explored the world initially, it becomes like, oh man, I've got to get over there again, and that's why fast travel's a thing in games. But there's always that little bit of travel in between a fast travel point and a point of objective you need to get to, which, if it's not fun to get around the world, becomes incredibly frustrating. This was like one of my major problems with Genshin. And I think in a gacha game, it gets exacerbated even more because you have busy work to do, don't you, where you need to get to point A, B, and C. And it makes that even worse of like, oh, I don't really want to run over there now. Like, I just want to be there and get back. And sometimes that's why instance games like PGR, like Zenly Zone Zero, have a little advantage sometimes, because that busy work is made so much easier, isn't it? But yeah, I really like the world of Wuthering Waves, actually. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's immersive. I find myself walking around from time to time just being like, wow, this is so pretty. And I cannot wait for RTX as well, because it's going to make it even more pretty.
First place I visited after the prologue. I bet most of you cannot even remember its name. This is a village. I do not know why it is here, so close to the city. There are a lot of people. I do not know what they are doing. I want to know, but I am unable to. I cannot talk to a single person. I could only find one kid to talk to, and he only talks about furries. See, when I first reached here, I desperately wanted to immerse myself in the
A lot of open world games suffer from this.
It does not even have its own music.
Don't you remember the time, sorry to pause again, where every game was advertising how big their world was compared to previous games? It was all about square mile, wasn't it? When you found that there was just nothing in between the points of interest. It was just open, vapid, vacuous areas. That's why sometimes smaller open worlds that are denser are better. And again, going back to Red Dead Redemption, it feels alive. You know, you can follow people going about the daily things and really interact with everything that's going on in a way that I just think is quite unprecedented in most games. For me, Red Dead Redemption 2 is as closest to perfection a game's got. There's no perfect game, and now there's different genres I like for different things, of course, but I just mean in terms of as a feat of engineering, like the levels that Red Dead Redemption put out to the world are insane. And even looking back on the game now, when did it come out now? It's a few years old. Still looks incredible.
Just generic plains theme 21. So why then does this village exist? Let's look at another place. Like, look at this. This place should be cool. And it would, except it was not made for this game. so it does not feel like it has a place in this game. There are destroyed, floating buildings up in the sky, and
This is a fair point. This is a fair point.
It. This is actually some Ghibli level stuff, but it says a lot when the only thing memorable for me exploring this was the rocks with dogshit texture and no collision at the top, and the train that takes me out of bounds. Does it seem heavy? Does it seem like a place with unutterable history? At best, it feels nothing, and at worst, it feels like something I would make. The problem with this game is that the direction shift never stopped shifting, never finding something to land on. Cities, esoteric landscapes, vastly different biomes, small villages, hideouts, spaces.
I think some of these things are the remnants of a game, as he said, that was going to be, that isn't. You know, Cal Charo's kind of that in a way, isn't he? You know, I hope he gets some love, but Cal Charo kind of feels like that. He's like the remnants of something that was, that isn't anymore. And obviously that comes from that they made a big change from the initial tests to the launch of the game. And I think, looking at how things went, it was probably the best thing to do. I don't know. I didn't play it, so I haven't got that emotion attached to it, which sometimes I think is a good thing. I think sometimes playing closed beta tests, alpha tests, can kind of take away that specialness of playing a game for the first time, can't it? Because that's one thing we get ruined nowadays. We get ruined with leaks, with videos, with trailers, with gameplay overviews, and then we get content creators who get access to stuff early, and we potentially we see like the first 10 to 20 hours of a game sometimes before it's even come out, and we lose that first time experience that we used to get back in the day, where you might have opened a magazine and saw some images for a game and be like, wow, this looks cool, and then that was it until you played the game. Maybe there was a demo disc where you was allowed to play like 15 minutes of the game, and then that was it, kind of thing, where like sometimes now you can already feel like you've played a game, can't you? But another game that I'm looking forward to, that I want to play, a lot of people are not so hyped about it, it's Throne and Liberty. I played a little bit of 2 of the tests, and I mean a little bit. I didn't play more than an hour because I didn't want to spoil myself, especially in an MMO, and especially in games where you're going through story beats. I don't want to keep repeating those story beats over and over again before the game launches, because then you go through that story beat and it just doesn't feel the same anymore, doesn't it? I think it can affect the rest of the playthrough of the game as well, in my opinion.
Ravines, tunnels, different types of enemies fighting, the weather are all just ideas, concepts that have not found their place in this world, just as I have not found Kuro Game's touch. I was watching back the footage of the technical test of Wuthering Waves, and look at this, man.
Bro, how big does Rover's head look there? What the hell?
The architecture, the style of lighting, the vibe of Jinzhou was so much more soulful and cohesive than we currently have. Whereas this, the lighting is uncohesive and uninspired. There's no vibes to speak of, and the lack of visual depth makes it a visual mush.
I didn't see enough of the other areas. That did look cool, but I quite like that. Again, these are all subjective things, though, aren't they? But I can understand what he's saying. I can see where he's coming from, definitely. I definitely get what he's saying.
It is upsetting because I have never walked, nor have ever wanted to walk around this Jinzhou, taking in the vibes.
That's true.
Listening to the music,
yeah, I've never felt
in the
myself
world.
doing that, and I used to be a big fan of doing that in games. Just having a wander around. Again, going back to Red Dead Redemption, that's a game that makes me want to do that. Sometimes I just like to go into the interior of buildings and kind of like just be there, because it's just so immersive, so alive.
But do you know what? I want to for this. Do not confuse this with detail. I am talking about tone. Am I looking at it with rose-tinted glasses? Maybe. But what is undoubtedly worse is the music. Generally, the music, the auditory reception would be fundamental in creating a vibe for a place.
Yeah, it's true.
But there's
Incredibly
no
important
melody
as well.
in sight, no theme to see, no vibe to feel. I would
All of these things that I'll give credit. I think I get where he's coming from, and I'm not disagreeing necessarily, because, as I said, didn't find myself wanting to explore around in that regard. I think the game's pretty, but never felt like I just want to kind of wander around as one of the people. Or maybe for him personally, a lot of these will be things that will be solved in the next region, potentially. You know, a new area that won't have had a redesign, that won't be something else and has had to be, you know, drastically changed into something different. You know, it'll be birthed from this new thing now. and all of those things might be able to be applied to it, you know, those themes, those feelings, those emotions, that connectivity, because it'll all fit with the world that's created, because it was born from the world that was created rather than being, you know, changed from a world that was created.
I actually argue that playing this game with the music turned off is a better experience. This hurts me on a fundamental
I think you might be
level.
right as well, Riley.
Remember in the beginning of the video when I showed you my tweets being hyped about this game? Well, you might have noticed that the majority of those are about the music. My naivety is funny, really. OST of the century? Yeah, that aged fantastically. But considering the game is based around sound, it is not only ironic that the music of this game is completely soulless, but there is also a surprising lack of sound elements.
I don't think it is necessarily soulless, personally. I think some of the music is actually quite pretty in this game, but music is one of those things. It's an art, isn't it? It evokes different emotions in everybody at the end of the day. There's a reason why we have an unlimited amount of different kinds of music and genres, because it speaks to everybody's heart differently, doesn't it? You know, music is one of those things like smells as well, that it can be so individual to you because it takes you back to a time, you know, something that sounds like something, or just an old song itself, something that smells like something, or an actual smell can put you back in the moment straight away, and it's going to connect to everybody differently as well, isn't it?
Elements in the world that is separate from the main story. I remember the devs said that they were proud of their unique weather system. Yes, it is unique. Seeing things like rain falling upwards and a sky of sea genuinely makes me want to clap.
I think the music in the official release is subjectively bad compared to the technical test music. That, you could be right, and I might have the same opinion. I didn't play it though, so I guess like potentially I might hear it afterwards and be like, well, nah, I prefer the official release because I heard it first, I guess, because that is the thing as well that can happen and create that bias, can't it? But you know, you might be right, and I might agree with you actually. But I suppose it might be a bad thing and also a good thing that I just didn't play the technical test, so I've got nothing to go off of really. But yeah, you might be right, and I might agree.
My feet. It is the exact type of unearthly I love. But how can it be a part of the natural world you create when it is completely absent from the world except the main story? What made them blind to their own strengths? Why not put faith and lock into this?
And as well, we could hope that this sort of themes and this music could come back in future content as well, couldn't it? It could happen, you know.
Brilliant idea you had. When the game was conceptualized with this much vibe and atmosphere, I had faith in Kuro, because Kuro always delivered the atmosphere in just the way I loved. How unbelievably beautiful is telling your friend, "Can I hear you sing one last time?" as the last comfort you want before losing everything. Where is this? It is difficult to accept that the vibe of this game amount to, well, nothing actually.
Hi everyone， 我是 Solen， 终于又再次和大家见面了，我真的非常的开心。经历了3年多的爆肝开发，我们最新的作品《开放世界》
3 years of development. Is that how long Wuthering Waves was in development for? 3 years of development. Concord was in development for 8 years, and it lasted a week. Just, you know, just throwing that in there. I didn't need to throw that shade, but I felt like I should.
动作游戏《明朝》马上就要在5月23日正式公测了。回顾明朝的开发，初衷就是希望可以带给大家一个全新的开放世界动作游戏的体验。但想象很美好嘛，实际做起来、实践起来肯定是困难重重嘛。
I think that's probably one of the reasons why the story fell flat a little bit initially, though, wasn't it? Because if you've had something that's been cooking for a while and then you just kind of rip it up and try and go again, it's more than likely for the most part gonna fall flat, isn't it? You know, we've seen it in films, we've seen it in TV shows. It's never in a great. You're never looking like you're in a great position to have to do that, and it very rarely ends up being, you know, successful in, you know, the show might be successful eventually, the movie might be successful eventually, but in terms of like from a critical point of view, it's never the best position to be in, is it, to have to do that?
I wanted Wuthering Waves to smell like the rain, gazing at the otherworldliness with a cup of tea that tasted like melancholy. But as it is, there is nothing more substantial than the gameplay of Genshin Impact. Actually, in this regard, Teyvat, the world of Genshin Impact, did feel like a living, breathing place at times. I have not played the game in 3 years, and yet
Maybe. For me, I felt like maybe when you were in the towns, potentially. I don't know if the art style did a lot of the heavy lifting there, because I always say the art style over graphics all day long, because graphics will, within a couple of years, will look old and art style is forever. I don't know though, man. One thing for me, I felt a lot of the time the world felt very devoid of that sort of stuff for me, potentially. It was pretty, but it was kind of empty at the same time.
I still vividly remember enjoying the dynamics of the people in Mondstadt, the connection they have with the Dawn Winery that was near Mondstadt. Completely
I agree with that, though. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. It did feel like there was more interconnectivity in the places around, especially in the first region. It did feel like there were people of the same place. You know, there was that connection in between the people. That's a fair point to make. I agree with that, actually.
This place is a microcosm of everything that is wrong with the world of Wuthering Waves. A world breathes life through each and every person that lives in it. It's a big place, and it will go on with or without you. Everyone has their own story, and each story needs to continue for the world to keep on living. The first time I discovered Chinsa Village, it was breathtaking. The first person I talked to was a writer who moved away and settled into this quaint place, far away from the city. The music reverberating this tranquility of new beginnings that the writer shared had meaning.
I think for me though, man, when it came to the story of Genshin, it was kind of like the issues that Zenless suffered from. The story itself and the characters weren't the problem. It was the vehicle that was used to tell the story in the TV system. I like the system, but not for the story. Fucking hated Paimon. And she became kind of like the de facto vehicle for the main character. And I very much disliked that about her. She was so annoying and frustrating. And she basically became a proxy of you, didn't she? Which I like much more in how they did things in Star Rail, where you were part of this, you know, kind of ragtag crew, and it was like you were all pals, and the story was told in that way. You know, because I know when we have these more semi-silent protagonists, you've got to do something in that regard. But having this little floaty, annoying thing on your shoulder become like your conscience, your voice almost. I think it really took a lot of the shine off the aspects of the storytelling in Genshin for me.
It had place as I was talking to some bird. This story was taking place. That's why it feels real. You don't feel you're guided by a force of convenience made to entertain you. You feel as if you've traveled to a faraway land, being enamored by how the people survive in a world so different from yours. If this world has rain falling upwards, show me how that affects those that are supposed to breathe life into it. I curse my lack of skill to properly explain why the world simply does not hit, but I think most people who played...
I think he's doing a very good job of explaining his point. Although, like I say, subjectively, at the end of the day, everybody's got a different opinion. I can see what he's saying, but it evokes a different feeling for me in regards. But I think he's doing a great job of explaining himself, a really good job.
This game would tend to
very eloquent.
The world in Wuthering Waves rarely, if ever, makes you want to take it in slowly and enjoy the vibes. Ultimately, the thing that grabbed me the most about Wuthering Waves is still failing to meet every expectations I have. So why then am I still continuing to play this game? This brings me to another amusing thing about human nature, the desire to protect our comfort. Like the cliche story of someone not confessing their feelings purely due to the horror of ruining the level of comfort they have. Or how in a relationship, oftentimes you forgive your partner as many times as you can bear should they hurt you.
The worst thing she can say is no, bro. Is it though?
Just to keep that level of comfort between you two. We are so hungry for comfort that we treasure having that person to go to at the end of the day, and deliberately ignore how that same person has the deadliest weapon to hurt us: our trust. My relationship with Wuthering Waves is just like this now. The only good things about the game to me is the combat and some of the story. If this was any other development team but Kuro Games, then I probably would not have played this as often, or perhaps at all. My perception of this game is biased to a fault, but I still want to give them a chance. I want to keep my level of comfort with them even though there is a high probability that I will continue to be disappointed, because that only makes me human, and I want Wuthering Waves to respect that and feel like it has a soul too. So there we have it. That is where the story ends for now. Looking back at myself, it really was cute how hopeful I was for Wuthering Waves. I talked about it like my life depended on it, and in a way it is warm to have something that you look forward to, because as time goes on, there will be countless things that make you lose yourself in sadness, not having anything to look forward to.
This is true. This is one thing that I absolutely love about video games in general. Video games are still a thing as a grown-ass man now that get me excited as a child. There are, other than my family and Rosie, there's really, and it's a sad thing of getting older, you know, that gives you that excitement, you know, that shining light of that childlike enthusiasm. There are very few things. Gaming still does it for me. You know, when I see a game that's coming out that looks cool, I get that. Oh man, a new video game for me is like Christmas. You know, getting a new PC, I get excited about it, getting new parts, getting new peripherals. I don't get like that with anything else really. And I think it's always, and I'm happy about that, because a lot of the time as an adult, people lose the enthusiasm for pretty much everything. And you know, life can be hard. We're getting into a deep position here, but life can be hard. So it's always nice to be able to hang on to something like that. And as he speaks about the comfort, you know, you wanting to grasp that as you grow up, it's important. And at the same time, it doesn't always happen. And I think this is a thing of growing up and learning and experiencing. And this is why people are right about breaking out of your comfort zone. Comfort's incredibly important, and you should always have some sense of it because it's needed. But breaking out of your comfort zone also is important to grow. It's a trope, but it's true, you know, because you can hold yourself back, and those things that once gave you comfort can ultimately be tainted by the thing that gave you comfort, or just your change in you as a person. So yeah, man, this video's got me thinking, man. I'm glad you linked this, because it's an interesting piece. This dude's really done a good job here.
Forward to not having a reason to wake up. This story is precisely a
He's talented in video making, that's for sure.
Many flaws, became upset, lost every reason to look forward to this game. I think how I feel about the change of direction can be summed up perfectly by a quote by Kuro Games themselves. You die because you lived. You rot because you were. The initial ideation of Wuthering Waves had so much life, and it is precisely because of that its rotting is now unmistakably apparent. But relationships are about compromise. I did not get exactly what I wanted, yes, but it is not like what I got was utterly trash. Wuthering Waves has shown me promise with its combat and story. I can compromise, and as a fan of Kuro Games, I irrationally want to continue believing in them. Maybe with time they will win me over completely. That will make me forego the lingering distaste I have. What do they need to do to achieve that? For me, it's giving their primary focus on the storytelling of the characters. Breathe life into them. Make them actually feel like they are living in the world you have worked so hard to create.
I think we'll get
whatever
that.
you do
I
with
do.
your world,
I do think we will
do
get
it
that.
well, with substance. Because if you don't, you are doing nothing but losing your identity. So in conclusion, my reception of Wuthering Waves as a fan of Kuro Games is overwhelmingly mixed, just like everyone else.
It was a great video, that was. I really enjoyed that. You know, we've dropped him a sub. I'm glad we dropped him a sub. I'm glad you showed me this video, actually. A little bit different, you know, a little bit thought-provoking. A lot deeper than video games itself. You know, we're actually being a little bit philosophical here in what we're listening to and what we're talking about, because it's good to hear this stuff. It makes you feel that yourself. I think sometimes expectancy of something that was to be as well, an attachment to an idea of what you wanted, you know, it can ultimately lead to being underwhelmed, being disappointed. having problems with things and really taking away the enjoyment. And I will say as well, what is it to say? Comparison's a thief of joy. Sometimes you need to enjoy something for what it is and not what you think it should be or what it could be. But all of the points you made, from a subjective stance, agree. And of course, I can't state my initial feelings from other things because I didn't play the closed beta. I just played the game from launch. Yeah, it was a really good video. That was really good video. Yeah, what am I looking for? I'll slap it in YouTube to have a look at later. By the way. I'll have a little look-see. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've got bloody hiccups, chat. I've got bloody hiccups. Should we play some video games, man? How long have I been live for? I've been live for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and we haven't played any video games. I'm turning into Asmongold, man. Just I got more hair. Wuthering Waves, always sit. Nice one. We'll have a little, should we have a little sneak peek? Let's have a little sneak peek. Okay, that is nice. That is not. I'm gonna have to properly listen to that later. That is nice though. That evokes like old school sort of. I don't want to be as obvious as saying something like a Final Fantasy type nostalgia to me, but kind of at the same time. That is nice actually. I'm gonna have a let me just sub to that channel and save that to a playlist, actually. We'll check that out later. We'll check that out later for sure. Yeah, somebody was asking earlier, I think it was loading, or was it Unirose? It was saying, do you like JRPGs? I do. I'll probably say all-time favourite for me, probably Final Fantasy 9. Absolutely love that game. Absolutely love it. It was like came out to the perfect time as well in my life for me as a kid, because I'm old. Yeah, it was just a really good time. Really good time that game was. Yeah, I'll have a proper listen to it later. I will have a proper listen to it. All right, let's should we jump into some PGR, shall we? Play a bit of PGR, boys and girls. Play a bit of PGR. So yeah, play a little bit of PGR. I'll try and hop on to WuWa as well. But I do want to play. It's 5:45, man. I got live late today, so it's my fault. It's because I did want to get that video up for Lumi, but I do want to play some Deadlock later as well because I haven't played for the last few days. So I'm gonna hop onto that as well because game's fire. I've heard people saying as well the Deadlock playtest, whatever you want to call it, it's gonna run till release. I hope it is because that makes me happy. But I was surprised when I heard somebody say that. Right? Love me some VV as well. A lot of characters in that game that I love. I've actually been meaning to play through that game again, actually. Got a bunch of the old Final Fantasy games. I was playing through Final Fantasy 12 again not long ago. Because that's another one of my favourites. Final Fantasy 12, love that game. Stream, what are you doing to me? Yeah, I was on about it yesterday. I think, obviously, totally random. It's never going to happen. But I'd love to see some, like, Final Fantasy characters come into a game like WuWa. I'd be so here for it. Be interesting as well to see if we do get some collabs with WuWa. I'm sure we will. But as well, be like, you know, interested to see who, what, when, how, where, why, if it ever happens. I do need really to start pulling on a weapon, don't I? One thing I will say, it's a small thing. I know it really doesn't matter. I'm not a big fan of the pull animation in this. I think Snowbreak took a lot of things on this game because the animation's kind of similar in that because you pull it down, if I remember right. Yeah, and it kind of does the like neon lines that go out as well. Not as good as this one, but yeah, I could definitely see it'd be a little bit better, if I'm honest. I did start pulling on this banner, but I'm kind of tempted to pull on a weapon actually, because it's 30, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do a couple of pulls on the weapon because I do want to get him. It's gamba time, gamba time. PGR time, yeah. I kind of want to try play it, but my schedule is packed. Yeah, I am glad I've actually started to try the game out actually because it is cool. It is a lot of fun to play. So far, I do like the game, but I feel you on that. So many gacha games and not enough time, right? And then not only is there so many, all the different updates, and then it's like, oh, can't keep up, man. Can't keep up. What's going on, Snowy? You should save up. I do want to pull on a weapon, though. I do want to get a weapon, to be fair. I've only got, what, like 27 pulls? I've been tempted to actually, maybe, just open the wallet just a little bit. Just a little bit, you know? Be a little bit of a degen. Let's get him to 36, actually. Yeah, I think my most anticipated gacha game upcoming is Nevernis to Evernis. I'm really looking forward to that game. I hope it's good anyway. I do. I hope it's good. One that I'm, if it is, you know, if it is decent, I'm planning to dump a little bit into there. Time, I mean, not money. Well, we'll see with money as well. I'll be good. I'll be good. I don't really spend too much, to be fair. I am a hyper light spender, and the most I've spent in is Wuthering Waves, and I say that's mainly on the Lunite Pass and the podcast as well. In a couple of packs. I did buy a couple of packs. Oh, is this for a... Oh, slightly different. We got a different pack. Okay. Does that give us any in-game benefit beyond that? I think I'm going to level this up a little bit as well. A little crazy. Alright, let's carry on knocking through the story, shall we? We've still got plenty to do. Just your skin, yeah. I'm saving for a block of time in my schedule for upcoming Girls Frontline 2. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Like, I I've been kind of wanting to dabble. We'll do our dailies in a bit as well. I've been kind of wanting to dabble. I think was we doing some of the hidden, was we? Yeah, we was, yeah. Alright, let's go. A smiling devil. Yeah, that's one thing I'd like to see come into Wuthering Waves. Give me skins. Give me potential weapon skins. And for God's sake, give me glider skins. Because that thing is just ugly as hell. I was hoping when Chang Li was coming, you know, when they kept showing her off with her parasol, I was like, oh, dude, that'd be cool if that was a glider. But no. It's like, just take my money, man. Take my money. Ascendant Trails extended all the way here. Leader, is it really okay for us to go in this deep? This is our mission. If you don't manage to provide intel, then our already scarce military cannot be deployed effectively. I can't talk! If there are any dangers, I'll be the last to recall my consciousness, and I'll keep you all safe. Understood, leader. I don't like how he plays in this part of the game. Not a fan. They're following me. I didn't expect them to be so quick in reaction. You are all too early. The party isn't ready yet. It's an Ascendant. Ascendant Roland. Oh gosh. Look at his readings. The concentration of punishing virus is insane. Right. He just feels like so cumbersome and, you know, because you can get him in the game, can't you? Does he play like this? What is he? Is he an Omniframe or something? I was learning about that yesterday, I think, and I was half asleep and I'd had a couple of beers, so I didn't really quite get it. Damn it, we are no match for him. Or Uniframe or whatever it's called. Uniframe, that's it, yeah. I really wasn't paying attention. I was playing a bit of that Epic 7 on my phone as well while I had it on in the background. I just heard the dude saying, like, you don't need to worry about it as a new player, so I was like, that's good for me then. I must avenge my teammates, must let other teams know. Sneak attack? You bloody corrupted. Deserves no respect. Yeah, we definitely missed him there, dude. Unless we got homing bullets. Okay, what's going on? Have we bugged out? Game dead? Game? What's going on? Okay, I think we're like... Have we soft crashed? True, I really need a shit skin, in my opinion, for a design right now. I'm not going to play her even at C6. I'm not the big range player in general, I'm not, if I'm honest. Okay. I'll have to restart the game, I think. Game dead? Game dead? Chat, game dead, chat? I think so, I couldn't do anything. It's a bug 4 years in the making. Yeah, I'd like, I'm here for, combat effect changes and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. I know it's all extra potential monetization that some people might be happy with, but I'm here for that sort of stuff. I am. Give me that all day long. Give me that all day long. Why has he just got back? Yeah, I don't like using him like though, really, to be fair. Not really a fan of this combat. For him, specifically. Okay. Yeah, his design as a character is pretty dope, actually. I must avenge my teammates. A sneak attack. You bloody corrupted deserve no respect. Can we get him this time? Hey! I told you we missed him. The game was just like, nah, bro, we missed the shot. I guess we'll just stand here then. How rude. As I expect, humans are despicable beings. Hello, babe. Rosie just got back, I think. What's this? Like 400 below recommended BP, but we're, you know, that kind of guy. We don't care. Let's just go get wrecked. Scar better become a playable character. I will buy it if he doesn't. Commandant, we have reached another zone corrupted by punishing virus. We must remove the illusions first. Commandant, help us break through the obstacles. Power stance! Tell me that isn't a power stance. For real. The virus is gone, Commandant. Let's continue to read the records. The way she just like comes over. I love you. You can't give me Crimson Weave and then give me back this dude again. Keep your formation. Eliminate the Ascendants. Oh, how conceited can you all be? Damn it! Open fire! Collect the paralyzed construct. Where? It's over here. Was it one of the dudes I just dropped? Okay. Why are we collecting the body? We're gonna make him an ascendant potentially. Why are you removing our inner devices? Are you trying to infect us? Infect? You don't deserve that gift. I'm leaving you here. See this bomb in my hand? Oh, remember we came through here and there was bombs on them, wasn't there? Yeah, I get it. See this bomb in my hand? It suits your sad and sorry selves. I will plant it in your body then. Wait, what? What are you doing? Cold-hearted, bro. Cold-hearted. When's the welcome ceremony? Oh, over here. What's going on, Thunder? What's my level? I think 30... Was it 35? Oh, arrange the welcome ceremony. Oh, I've got to... Oh, okay, I'm dropping the bodies around here. Okay. When your teammates come for you, they will join you in becoming hideous fireworks. Oh, gosh. Why? Why did I even fight? Hold on, mate. Hold up, chat, 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and say hello to Rosie. She's just got back from work. So I'm back. Back. Looking at Monday now to get my car back. Monday evening. So that sucks. Well, I guess it is what it is. Hey, yo, guys, as well, if you are watching on YouTube, gotta say, a little big obligatory like beg. Drop a like on the stream. It's appreciated. Helps out as well. Well. I'm here at last. I added a little well there for dramatic effect, you know. The dismay you caused on your path here is a stain on this estate. Unforgivable. Mr. Butler, if you truly find this unforgivable, why didn't you step out earlier to stop me? I see. Protecting yourselves, that is the very last order of your master, yes? Just like Tifa in the beginning. Humans, simple to a point. How boring. Come, let me test your mettle. You might still be useful. We've got to fight the butler. I was thinking we fight the butler as him then. Phew, finally got here. Why is there no one around? Greetings, you should stay here forever. Oh, it's like a different enemy? Because we fought the butler here, didn't we? The normal route leads people to this fake hall. To enter the real guest hall, we must take a special route. I locked up all those corrupted that the estate could not destroy inside this room. If those people are going to use you, I would rather that you get consumed by the corrupted. I nearly lost her then. Did he purposely separate us? Woo! Is that close to getting knocked out? What a waste of effort. I've already found you. That voice sounds so familiar. Hey, Butler, did something happen over here? Wolverhampton kicked in then. Happen? Did it happen? He's not answering. Let's find a way out first. Also, when you do the story, activate support option in the top right before deploying. A random player joins you, making boss so much easier. Was that like actually a player, or is it kind of like in Star Rail when you can use somebody's like higher level? What's here? I will stop you right there. I must protect Mr. Copperfield's lifelong work. Oh, we've got to fight the butler, is he? His fight's so cumbersome though, to be fair. This guy. He feels really cumbersome to use. Oh, that carries on burning. Okay. Thanks for all the joy you brought me today, Mr. Butler. I'm very sorry, but I must let punishing virus infect you. It's all for Miss Luna. I will never yield. It's inside me. So who's Rosie again? She's going to the shop. But she's the boss. She's the boss. Roland injecting me 10 TG, a femboy picture. this one yet, have I? Yeah, I ain't beat this one first time yet. Gonna be quick. What is it? Auto run or whatever it is. Oh, I got fucked. I didn't realise. Was not paying attention. How do you ride in a robo pig or hog? What's that? That was converging on me hard then. I do like the combat in this game though. And that's why I like running through quite a lot of the stuff. Just getting used to the combat, like the minute by minute play. Like, you know what I mean? Just do the events. I think I've got to be level 40, haven't I? To... You want about the, what's it event? The Cradle Parade thing. The Seeker's Voyage. What about this thing? Or the Stagnant Water thing. I think, I can't remember now. I think I had to be level 40, didn't I? If I remember right. I could be wrong. What about this shizzle? I got my dome as well. Oh. Send it out again, yeah. Research Center, Ruins Expedition, Abnormal Situation, Reconnaissance, Combat Medical Assistance. Nanami! Is that right? I can get a character through that, yeah. Through the dorm. Oh, let's put that on. Might as well, man. Got 3 dorms, named Sakura Rolls, and I'll always up flower names. Yes, I'm EU, yeah. I'm EU. So if anybody wants to add me, send me a friend request, whatever, you're more than welcome to. More than welcome to. So like, even though we've only got a little bit of voice acting in regards to like the characters, you know, it's done quite well, isn't it? Again, I was saying this the other day though, is there ever a case, well there probably is, or I always feel like JP just kills it, don't they? You know what I mean? They just kill it. Yeah, EU, dude, EU, yeah. Shattered illusion. Shit. Like shit. Trying to get a little bit behind on the BP now, but we should be okay. We've been alright so far. We might get clapped a little bit here and there, but we'll see, we'll see. Shattered illusion. Chapter 5. Outer Rim survey completed. No ambushes confirmed. And the route inside? Liv's not here, so we have limited data collection capabilities. Nothing to do now but wait for Kamui. Oh yeah, Liv got kidnapped by that dickhead, didn't she? What is it? I just thought of the time inside the shop picking the plushies with Liv. Oh, hold up a second, chat. Just need to do something. Give me a moment. Sorry, I just need to make a quick phone call. My bad. My bad. Bluetooth connected. That sheep plushie, it felt like Liv. It had the same warm feeling. Sometimes in battle, I feel like it is Liv, who stays in the back that shines the brightest. When I first became the leader of this squad, I might have chosen Liv because of that almost blinding and warm aura of hers. If I remember correctly, Liv is the only one of us who has been awarded with an honorary medal of the highest rank. I trust that for someone like her, she'd know what to do in this situation. I think so too. Kamui's back. Oh, don't we calling me that Strike Hawk guy now? I like Kamui. What are the results? The entrance is quite small. You could divide the corrupted there into two groups, one patrolling in and out the entrance, the other wandering randomly around the entrance outside. All things considered, infiltration seems to be the most efficient option. We've got to do a little bit of sneaky, yeah? A little bit of sneaky. Yeah, I think I can go up another rank actually. We need to move fast. I just hope Kamui's map is accurate. Don't make too much noise. We don't want to alert the Forsaken. They're still holding Liv. Ooh. Getting clipping on the terrain. Got to be very quiet. Oh shit. Didn't quite pull it off, boys. Didn't quite pull it off. Oh shit, we're going all down the fucking... Don't want to do that. We're carried away. I thought we brought everybody in there, weren't we? Ah well, whatever. I guess we weren't supposed to make noise, but... And here we are. Here we are, making all of the noise. Oh well. I enjoyed that. Combat's too fun, really. You're not killing all of them. Oops. It's not really my strong point anyway, stealth, you know, so, like, we won't be too worried. Sneaking missions? What are sneaking missions, bro? We don't do them things. Hold up 2 secs. It's an oasis inside the building, an organisation researching artificial biospheres. Ooh. If that's the case, this might have been the predecessor to Babylonia's biosystem. Oh my god, she's phoning me again, chat! She rang me by mistake this time. If that's the case, this might have been the predecessor to Babylonia's biosystem. But something still doesn't feel right about this place. The biodiversity is too low for this to be an artificial biosphere, not to mention the strange design. I see, I get it now. This isn't a biosphere. 7 o'clock position. The building there should have a long collapsed from its weak foundations. 3 o'clock, another high rise. This one's incongruent in the middle. 11 o'clock, abnormal buoyancy from the springs. What? This space is filled with uncannies in the details, almost like what's the word I'm looking for? A hologram or something? Mind. This facility is probably rigged. Stay sharp. Lee, come on. What is it? Gone? Visual system errors. Disorder in the mind. The corrupted signals have recovered. We'll have to fight. It won't hurt them, will it? Oh my god, I'm taking so many hits here. That looks pretty epic though. Kind of wasted it to be fair as well. And I'm taking far too many hits, man. Oh, boys. Still got to get used to the combat in this game, to be fair. I do like the character design in this game as well. It's kind of fire. Kind of fire. Communication request. Lee, please respond if you can hear me. I can hear you, but it's not because of the communication, but because of my hearing has recovered. What? About your sight? Come on, what do you see around you? He's not here. Anyway, let's find a way to reunite first. If it was just interference with our sensors, then we shouldn't be too far apart since it hasn't been long. You're right. Wait, I think I touched something. It's my wiener! That's my shoulder. Oh, sorry. Commandant, how's your situation? Commandant? You're touching my face. Looks like it's affecting Commandant too. Dude's there like... Oh, sorry. Oh, what's that? Is that... Oh, that's your boobs. Sorry. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's your boobs. But Commandant is fully human. Why would the interference work on the Commandant as well? Contemplating. Kamoy still hasn't responded. Trying to connect with Babylon. He didn't really interfere with the Commandant, did he? He's just blagging him. So he could touch her up. Trying to connect with Babylonia. Failed as well. If I'm not wrong, Lucia, Commandant, come with me. Oh yeah, Lucia, my eyes are totally not working. Hong Kong. Shit, we should have ranked him up actually, shouldn't we? Oh well. If I'm not mistaken, this should be from a specialized EM projection device that can alter the electromagnetic fields of nearby spaces. Rather than deceiving our sensory organs directly, it's more like covering a fictional piece of veil of the real world. Okay. So that sensory discrepancy we felt earlier, that was a form of maladjustment to this type of augmented space. Jeez, man. A lot of words here. However, people have long since known of ways to mess with perception. This kind of thing is not only effective, but also costly. So how can we disable this EM projection? Simple. Find the projector and shut it down. We need to look for places that seem strange. She's pocket dialed me again. We need to look for places that seem strange. The device will likely be in those places. For instance, here. Lee removes the EM projector. The uncanniest of the space around rises by several degrees. Uncanniness, should I say. You silly Lee. Of course it doesn't affect Commandant. It's just a way for Commandant to flirt with Lucia, right? Right? I respect it. I respect the grind. I see. To ensure the quality and accuracy of the projections, multiple devices have been deployed to amplify their effects from different angles. We've solved this issue, but would the Forsaken really believe that this little trick could hamper us? It did a little bit, didn't it? Definitely slowed us down. Allowed us to cop a feel. No. The next batch of projectors is in position. Follow my mark. I couldn't help but do that then. I kind of wasted it, but still. We just blocked him. Dude, the Perisance is so real. Bruh. Another fight? Yeah. Combat's insane in this game though, it's really, really good. Takes a little bit of getting used to because it is a big divergence from something like Wuthering Waves. But I do like it. Like, it's so anime. All projectors are being turned off. She's badass, so isn't she? Can't tell me she ain't cool. Smart path. There is one method. Lee fished out a small square-shaped pendant from his collar. This is a souvenir Murray gave me. Murray? That's your little brother in Babylonia, right? Yes, we talk occasionally. That's nice. Do you not have family in Babylonia? Alright, it's not the time for this anyway. This toy is a mini gravitation detector. Just something you can buy in the souvenir shops near the living quarters. That's kind of cool. Find me from anywhere. That was its motto. Of course, just commercial talk. This toy has a small detection area, is highly inaccurate, and becomes disrupted easily. But for us, if we simply move along with it and record its reactive signals, we can theoretically deduce a vague but usable map. And from the map, not only can we find the direction, but also the location of the projectors. Then, I'll leave it to you, Lee. That sounds very Star Trek-y, that does, you know? Okay. Turn off the projectors. Gravitation detector imaging has commenced. Image is fuzzy, but will suffice. But these corrupted aren't projections. How did the Forsaken get through here with no graviton detectors? I guess they know this place. Why else would they bring Liv here straight? Not too sure. Where are my UIDs? Do I need to go back to the main menu to bring it up? That's kind of sick. You definitely see the animations as well. Kind of went into WuWa, really. They're like, was it John Woo type stuff? It's pretty sick. Where, how do I find it in oh, okay, we're out now, so hold up. Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Top right, yeah, top left, sorry. Can you see that? No worries, no worries. Do you know what? We might hop on PGR, not PGR, Zelly's on Zero tomorrow, actually. I have got an itch to play it. I'm not gonna lie. Where do I go to for... I think I got you, yeah. Yeah, I think I got you, dude. A new release. Hold up 2 seconds. New release. Arcadia Breath of the Land. What's that? What's Arcadia Breath of the Land? Is that somebody else who I accepted then? No, that was you I got, yeah? Is this you here? Arcadia Breath of the Land. Is this out then? Okay, that looks like a very... Hold up a second. Hold up a second. Let's just have a look at this a minute. Arcadia Breath of the Land teaser. From what I was just seeing there, it looked very, very mobile-esque kind of trailer. You know, it feels very like Clash of Kings kind of vibe, like trailer. Terrific visual effects. Okay, is this gameplay? It looks very mobile. Definitely looks very mobile. Have we got some gameplay? Let's have a look at this. I'm interested. Breath of the Land, Android, iOS official launch and gift codes. Oh, it's an MMORPG. Oh, okay. So. It does look very mobile MMORPG. I got burnt last time I tried a cross-platform kind of MMORPG in Tarisland because that was just trash, absolute trash. So
Please, leave here.
Demons! There are demons in this scroll! I don't know anything! Go ask Camilla!
the voice acting quality sounds
It's an
terrible. No, actually the voice acting itself just the same quality.
The guild is dispatched to special envoys.
The audio in general sounds terrible. Yeah, I don't know if this is for me.
Now, otherwise, prepare to be transformed into mushroom soup by the fallen angels.
There's a lot of stuff going on screen as well, isn't there? Holy cow, dude, it's overwhelming. What the hell? Yeah, nah, don't know about that. Don't know about that. Don't know about that one, chat. Yeah, nah, you're alright, you're alright, you're alright. You're alright. Requirements not... Oh, complete store, normal story 3 to 12. Member reaches level 40. Right, we're getting there. Okay, we need to get our commandant level up a little bit, yeah. Okay. And then we can rank up. We actually double check, can I rank up some of my other guys? I believe. More stuff on screen than FF14. Jesus, dude, that was like... I don't even know what that was. It's like the game was like, figure out what the hell's going on screen. That's the main game. Everything else is just an extra. Do you know what this is? No. This won't do. Turning them off by hand is too inefficient. There might be up to hundreds of these devices here. Can't we just use EMP grenades like in the museum estate? That's Strike Hawk equipment, not Grey Raven. But I know you have a habit of holding on to at least one of any new devices you find. You really are something else, Captain. But one single EMP won't do much. It'll also have to be detonated at the right location. I was going to say, like, can't we, would height have any sort of effect in terms of the spread of the EMP pulse? We'll just have to try. Dude, I love Prince of Leaves design. She's got super long ass legs, isn't she, man? If we want the EMP to affect the maximum number of projectors, we need to find the best spots. There's corrupted everywhere. I'll send a signal when the coast is clear. Out. The corrupted attacks are slowing. Now? Okay. I can't get over how, like, peak anime the fights are sometimes. After the explosion, the alloy covering the floor and walls began to show their true colours, and the projection becomes temporarily down. It actually worked. Looks like they reduced its protection quality for mass production. Now, Lee, let's map down the temple's routes and projector locations. Ah, good idea. Isn't that Kamui? He's been loitering here all along. Oh, did you guys break the spell? I tried to initiate communication with you many times, but you never responded. Sorry, my bad. I was flustered and accidentally broke my communication system. Give it here. I'll see if I can fix it. My saviour, Lee. I won't help you anymore if you call me that one more time. I like Kamui. He likes winding up Lee as well, doesn't he? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Ah, this is... The projector restarted themselves? Looks like these devices aren't as flimsy as we made them out to be. The EMP will only last for around a minute, and we don't have much left. Can we search for Liv during the rebooting time of the projectors? Not likely, but we can try to find the control source of these projectors. Alright, showtime. With my help, the projector's gonna break twice as fast. Kamui, wait! Lucia, don't let Kamui out of sight. Who's that dude? You said to not let Kamui out of our sights. Is there something... Well, seeing how we're on the dedicated Grey Raven channel, I was just checking Kamui's inner device. It was running on high load mode, and there are logs of him trying to turn off his GPS and comm systems. Turning off his own? He might have his own plans, but I think we definitely need to check in on him with him more. Is he up to no good? Dude, that looks kind of cool. Slow motion when she does that, like, overhand riposte or whatever you want to call it, though. Be careful not to get hit by my sword waves. Ah, I can't tell if he's acting or not. What do you mean, Lee? Nothing. I was just curious how he managed to carry out missions all on his own before. Maybe he was just very lucky, but I don't believe luck can go on for this long. Another possibility would be that he's hiding something that can save him from dangers. Hiding what? Oh, bro, what you hiding? What you hiding, Camille? What you got up your sleeve, bro? What you got up your sleeve? I can't even talk. Your sleeve? Hold up a second, chat. I absolutely am gagging for a pee-pee. I'm back in a moment. Sorry about knocking, being in and out. Check it all about. Oh, dude, hold up. No, I can't do it yet, can I? I need to get to level 40. I was about to say I'll rank up, but I've got to get to level 40. Not me. We're doing alright so far. Probably going to get a DPS check to Folk in a minute. The Corrupted can't handle it. They're doing an organised retreat. They won't retreat without reason. Come on, we must have won the lottery again. Hey there, grouping up. There's something inside. Don't just look. Let's go. Coming. Corrupted a shield in the projectors. One in the middle seems different. I think it must hold the secret to this place. Okay, here goes. Dude, I'm taking some serious damage here. Oh, I saw it coming and let it happen. We kind of messed up here though. On my, you know, can't really say much on the game there. That was me. That was me. Are you done yet? Would you like to do it instead? I'm not suitable for analysing data. Then just shut up and wait. This is the fastest we can analyse without live. Oh. It's finished. So? This kind of corrupted were bionic mechanoids called Royal Guards that were created to work in the Cultural Restoration Exhibition Hall, responsible for showing different cultures and operating these projectors. After the outbreak of the virus, Mind Technologies research was the priority. This facility was converted into a mind laboratory responsible for the part of the research process. These Royal Guards may not have their own mind systems installed, but they can still construct consciousness from their minds and upload it to some central consciousness container. Just the one we encountered has already uploaded more than 10 consciousness. If we look at the pattern of the corrupted so far, they should have destroyed the consciousness directly. So we can only assume this is the work of external interference. Is that something to do with the Ascendants, is it? Good, I was worried that you won't pick up the receiver. I've been analysing Grey Raven's battle logs. It looks like those special enemies have been giving you a hard time. I'm giving you permission to use the training facilities to simulate training against these special enemies. Get used to fighting them quickly because enemies will only get tougher. Got it. Challenge Phantom that Phantom Pain Cage, because we got some of those for the little missions, didn't we? Phantom Pain Cage unlocked. Regular challenge. Phantom Pain Cage. This value is the total progress achieved through boss challenges this week. The further the progress, the better the rewards. The progress is reset every week. The number of daily attempts is fixed. If you choose to save your data after a battle, it will count as one attempt. At the end of every cage period, the total progress of a commandant will be calculated. Phantom Pain Scar can be claimed as a reward after the calculations and be traded for its item at the cage store. Phantom Pain Cage will have different bosses every week. The number of bosses will depend on the level of the commandant. Okay. Musashi 9. Affix F armor. What's F armor? Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting to do a hold, what's it, a hold dodge and a hold basic. I do forget to do it in the heat of things sometimes. I'm still getting there, learning my my kit, so to speak, my rotations and stuff. And test your worth. Yeah, I've heard some people speaking about that one actually. Free things. Give me that. Chat, guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Just FYI, I am going to be calling it there. We didn't play too much of the game today, but we was reacting to a lot of videos today. There was a lot of stuff going on. We wanted to check it out. I was kind of conversing with you guys a lot as well. I will be back a little bit later. If you're watching on Twitch, I'll be back a little bit later. YouTube, I'll be back tomorrow. I will be live on my second channel a little bit later because we're going to be playing some Deadlock. I don't do that on the main channel because it's a totally different game. But yeah, I've got another video going up after this stream's gone live. It'll be right after the stream's gone live talking about Blue Protocol coming back in one form or another. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not too sure. Hold up before we go. Trying to look at what time the kickoff is. Oh, kickoff. Oh, 12:30. Okay, so the kickoff's at 12:30. So I'll be live from around about 3 p.m. tomorrow. I think what we're going to do tomorrow, we're probably going to play some Zenless Zone Zero and some Wuthering Waves. We might do Zenless and PGR. We'll see how we go. But I'm definitely going to hop onto Zenless again because 1.2 looks fire. And I just kind of want to get through the content that we've got at the moment. So I do appreciate you guys. Again, if you're watching on Twitch, I'll be back after I've had my tea. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you all in the morrow. If I don't see you over the weekend, guys, have an amazing weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Stay safe. And be sure to check out my videos as well. Gotta pimp them out. Gotta pimp them out. I love your faces, guys. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.